It's like a loop machine.
Presentation of Langston Lion football presented by Counseling Solutions and Interventions. Today is the battle for the bell as Oklahoma Panhandle State, the Aggies, face your Langston Lions in their season home opener. The Lions are 1-1 after a big loss on the road last week against the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. The Lions seem to have left their best football in Oklahoma last week. The Lions fell to number 19 in the national NAIA polls and must refocus and find an identity. Today begins conference play, and the Lions know that they are the hunted. The mission is clear: win today, win the conference, and stay in the race for the national title. The Aggies from Goodwell, Oklahoma enter today's contest 0-2 and desperate for a win. A new head coach, a new system, but still a tough-minded defense lays waiting for Langston. They want to make this game ugly. This is the battle for the bell. It has made its home here, the bell has, at Langston University for quite some time. And now Langston must be ready. If they want to keep it that way, they got to play like that way. The field is in great condition, and the game time temperature should be about 86 degrees and fall to the upper or lower 80s, I should say, by the time the fourth quarter rolls around, with winds blowing from the south at 17 miles an hour. Welcome to the Langston Kickoff Show this evening, and I am joined in the studio press box right now with the doctor, President Dr. Kent Smith. Good evening to you, sir. Are you ready for this season opener?
Good evening. I am as ready can be, especially coming off of a huge loss from last week. I need to get that loss, the bad taste out of my mouth and out of my head.
No question. Now, Dr. Smith, I'm going to ask you this question. When a team is desperate, like Oklahoma Panhandle is, and they want to rattle your cage, how do you handle that?
Well, to begin with, we have to limit the mistakes. No turnovers, play Langston University football. I'm sure they'll talk a little trash to our players and try to get them upset and get some of those 15-yard penalties. But very pointedly, play Langston University football that we're very capable of doing.
And if they do that, then you know this is still a rivalry game, and you don't give them an inch, then you can go ahead and punch them in the mouth and knock them out early in this contest. And that's what Langston simply needs to do. If you leave that room for doubt, and we're standing around here in the fourth quarter looking at each other, that means we have not seen Langston play football today, the way that they're capable of.
Absolutely. And, I'm hopeful that the result of the first game, even though we were able to pull out a very narrow one-point victory, I'm hoping that our players and our coaching staff learn from it. If you get up, you have to stay on the gas and play 4 quarters, not 1 quarter.
No question about it. Now, you can listen online at www.okcheartandsoul.com. Download the app for free, and you can listen, and here it is at OKC Heart and Soul 92.1, or you can find it at the KRMP App Store. Go ahead and make sure you do that. I want to thank Counseling Solutions for their sponsorship for this Langston broadcast. The new head coach for Oklahoma Panhandle State is Bob Majeski, and the head coach for the Langston Lions in his 4th full season is the one and only Quentin Morgan. During this time this afternoon, we're going to take a time out. We'll come back on the other side. We will we'll talk some Panhandle. We'll talk Pine Bluff. And that ever popular question I keep getting asked everywhere, who is going to be the starting quarterback? We've got that news for you all the way to kickoff. So if you haven't had your popcorn, go ahead and get that ready. And if you're on your way to Langston, this is a great night for football, Dr. Smith. There's not a better place to be in Oklahoma this evening.
No doubt about it. Go Lions, and we'll talk with the audience shortly.
All right, no problem. We'll be back on the other side. You're listening to Langston Football, sponsored by Counseling Solutions and Interventions on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Majesty
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Let's face it.
Welcome back to the LU Kickoff Show. Mo and the Doctor. That's right, Dr. Kent Smith, Mo and the Doc, on the call this evening for you, taking you all the way to kickoff this evening. Now, Dr. Smith, it was kind of a tough game for the Lions last week. Make the trip to Arkansas Pine Bluff to take on Pine Bluff, Arkansas, to take on Arkansas Pine Bluff, I should say, the Golden Lions. And the Lions did not play well in that game. You know, and Quinn Morgan had some thoughts about it. I want to get your reaction to his words, but he said he was just really disappointed overall in how the team played.
To be totally honest with you, I was a little disappointed in our execution. After long hours of film, going back and looking at a lot of the play calls that we called was there. We just didn't execute the way we were supposed to. So when it all boils down to, we were very disappointed, and we should have put out a better performance, execution-wise, some players, and of course, it's not just falls on players, it falls on coaching as well. It's a whole total shebang.
I love the fact that he took ownership there for everybody, because he said it wasn't just one person, it was everybody.
Yeah, and I think you see that's indicative of why the players will run through a wall for Coach Morgan. He's not looking to blame any one particular player. When we win, it's everyone's win. When we lose, it's everyone's loss. And the reality is what he said is true. There was poor execution across the board from, we made a field goal, but we missed a few extra points. All the way down to the kicker. Offense was inconsistent. We played three quarterbacks. We had a drop long ball by Shaputis. Other than Craig Evans, with a sack and breaking through the line and even a fumble recovery where he became a running back, I really would not say anybody really played well or stood out to me. So I think what he's saying is fact, it's true. And ultimately, we have to settle on a quarterback and move the team forward and play Langston University football offensively, defensively, and special teams.
I agree with everything that you just said there and throughout there, but the one thing that I wanted to point out here, looking at how everything played out here, is the fact that the numbers through two games, the numbers through two games here, they've been kind of rough when you look at it. You know, when we start talking about Langston, this is a team last year that had 43 points per game. Right now, through 2 games, it's 18. Again, there's still time. To me, this is all mirage, but the numbers, if you're an opponent looking at this, you're like, boy, they've fallen way off the cliff. And I'm going to sit there and say, if anybody who knows, and we're talking to you, Langston fans, wherever you are out there listening, is understand this. These numbers are not indicative of how this team is playing. So far, I mean, right now, 500 total 1 yards of total offense so far in 2 games. Now, again, Langston last year had over 1,000, almost nearly at this point last year. But the defensive numbers have been kind of bummy too. They looked great at one point against McPherson. Then they didn't look so good in the second half of that one. And then they didn't show up consistently against Arkansas Pine Bluff. And it's just been trying to get the pulse of this. So if we went through here and reviewed these numbers, you would say, oh my gosh, this team is horrible.
Yeah, we're salivating. I want to play them, which I don't think Panhandle State is saying.
Exactly.
But it's really a good point. Obviously, we have not had one solid game yet out of the 2 games. The first game, we broke out strong from an offensive standpoint in the first quarter. It was all downhill after that. I think the team made adjustments. We didn't adjust well, or we took the foot off the gas. Something happened that wasn't pretty. Look, at the end of the day, I think the game last week, Pine Bluff is not the Pine Bluff of old. I really think they're going to make some noise in the SWAC, but the reality, they're not that good.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you this statement, because this sounds far-fetched, and we know that they are more talented in terms of what they have. But if Langston played them 5 times, just being honest, I say Langston wins 2, maybe 3 out of those, and I think that's a fair.
No argument. Well, you look at how close we played them the last few times, other than this last game, including a win. I totally agree with you. And I still feel that if we met that same team 3-4 weeks from now, it would be a different ballgame.
I agree. Now, that goes back to the biggest question that everybody keeps asking. This team last year had one of the nation's best quarterbacks in the country in Jalen Lowe. And for everybody out there, you just don't grow quarterback or signal callers on trees. You don't. You have to hopefully be able to recruit that talent in here, and then be able to firmly be able to get the most out of those guys what's here. Langston has got a slew of good quarterbacks on their roster, but we've seen so far Gianni Stevenson, we saw Jordan Cooper, and we saw the debut last week of Raekwon Washington. What did you think overall of Mr. Washington's performance?
Well, it's my opinion, when you look at the fact that they played him for the entire 3rd quarter and 4th quarter, that they were trying to see what they had in him. They felt very good about him over the summer and certainly before the season started. But he had to learn the offense. It's a much more. In May, he was in high school,
right?
And so this is a much more complicated offense, an RPO offense, and so he's had to adapt. From what I'm hearing, he's going to start today, which will be the 3rd quarterback starter in 3 games. And the question is, who will rise?
Exactly. I love how you said that. Quinn Morgan talked about it, because I asked him, what are you really looking for in terms of your quarterback position?
Better decision making, I should say. Better decision making with the ball, and just more stability when it comes to that. We need someone who to take the reins, and we think we found someone now. We were able to see some good things out of all 3 quarterbacks in that type of atmosphere. But Raekwon out-edged my other 2 quarterbacks with his poise in that type of atmosphere.
And he did. You got to understand that he stepped on the field against Arkansas Pine Bluff, and that was a tough stage for the guy. It's not that it was there, and he showed a little bit of everything in his I guess what you would say in his pocket.
Absolutely.
He showed you the rolling pocket presence. He showed you deep throws, short throws, and escapability. Those are a lot of things he put out there in just one half of football.
And that's very difficult to defend. And so far, I would argue that the other 2 quarterbacks, while they're certainly good quarterbacks in their own right, the other 2 so far have not shown that combination of all 3. Jordan Cooper, obviously the runner of he and Stevenson. Stevenson has a nice touch and can throw the ball, but hasn't been as elusive. So we'll see what Raekwon does today, but the reality is somebody has to step up, earn that position, and become the true starter, and move it forward. I give Coach Q a lot of credit, because he's given them the opportunity to show what they can do. Right. And as a player, that's all you can ask for.
Right. Each quarterback has at least played a quarter, not a series, Not any of that stuff where they're jerking the quarterback around a lot. It was always handled, I thought, in a very professional manner and gave every young man a chance to get a version of saying that they got the legs underneath them and were comfortable. Time for us to go ahead and take a break. We'll come back, and Panhandle's up next. We're going to talk about the key players in this, and we'll be back with more. You're listening to Langston Football, sponsored by Counseling Solutions and Interventions on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, trying to get down.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
We are back at Anderson Stadium for the LU Kickoff Show. Maurice Prince and Dr. Kent Smith taking you all the way to kickoff. A couple of things need to come out of here. You know, this is the Battle of the Bell, Dr. Smith. I mean, this is the Battle of the Bell, which means this is a rivalry game. But Dr. Smith, to make it a rivalry, you gotta beat Langston at some time.
Hey, absolutely. When looking at the record here, since 2004,
right?
What is it? 10-2 in Langston's favor. We'll take it, but I just don't want it to be 10-3.
Exactly, because again, at some point in time, if you start taking the opponent for granted, you turn around and look at some things. Now, last year's game, Langston won this thing 33-9. I mean, that's how it is. LU led 13-3 at the end of the first half and exploded for 20 in the second to finish off with that score. The defense was strong that game. They forced 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles, 1 interception. Isaiah Shaputis had 4 catches for 66 yards. Dalen Person had 3 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown. And Cameron Booty last year had 7 catches for 144 yards and a touchdown. And Justin Wade, he was a beast in that game. He was a beast in that game. He had a couple of things going on there as well. He had 6 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, one forced fumble, and James Cox, who we found out today is inactive, But he had what was it, 5 tackles there?
Wow, yeah, and one behind. This is a good deal.
Exactly. 1 forced fumble back there for him. So obviously Jalen Lowe was the star of this game last year. I mean, the numbers he put up in that was just amazing. What was those yards? Come on, what were those numbers? We got to reminisce.
492 total yards of offense. What a stud! 131 yards rushing. 361 yards passing. It doesn't get much better than that.
And how many fingers on a hand? Somebody tell me.
Not enough to cover Jason Lowe.
Well, Jalen Lowe. I mean, he ended up with 5 touchdowns in this game last year, ladies and gentlemen. So it was outstanding. So, and last year, only one player that made an impact for Panhandle is returning, and that's the guy we got to start off talking about, and that is Didarian Primes. And Didarian Primes, when we start talking about this young man, he has got to be one of the key players to watch today.
Yeah, at linebacker, and I had an opportunity to meet him for our conference meeting, and a fine young man, and he has some beef to him. That's why he's usually making a lot of tackles. And what did he have? 11 tackles in last year's game.
Well, no, 11 tackles he's got so far this season.
Oh, this season.
So,
okay.
So far, with 4 tackles for a loss and a sack.
Okay, so good. Good he didn't have 11 last year.
Now, real quick, we're going to let you respond and react to Quentin Morgan's thoughts on this Panhandle State team.
Very good team. We got to come in. We got to play disciplined ball. Make sure we don't shoot ourselves in the foot with unnecessary penalties offensively. If we do what we're supposed to do, we should be able to control them at the line of scrimmage and be able to reach up on those linebackers. And but then again, we got to make sure we're disciplined. Make sure that they are accounted for within the scheme if they have been all this week.
Yeah, now he said it well. What's your reaction?
Spot on, and I think we have to. He mentioned the offense, but also defensively, we have to limit the penalties, offsides calls, personal fouls, just silly penalties, tackling someone out of bounds. If we eliminate those, play Langston University football, we're able to run the ball and throw the ball down the field. There is just, in my opinion, there's no reason that this game should be close.
No, you're absolutely right listening at that standpoint of it. On the season so far, Panhandle's averaging just 11 points per contest. They have given up 58 per game an average, from an average perspective. The bottom line here, folks, is Panhandle wants this game to be ugly. The defense is the strength of this team, and they want to be aggressive on that and set up easy scoring opportunities for the offense. So if Langston plays smart today, then according to what you heard from the doctor and the coach, that's the way to serve this dish. Ball control,
that's right. Score
the ball, no mistakes. Now, a couple other players to look out for on this team here, other players to watch right here. And first of all, on the quarterback, on the offensive side, they're like, Maurice, you haven't spoken about any of that. Panhandle runs a 2-quarterback system. It's between sophomore Tony Brown and, of course, the senior DJ Scott. Now, Tony Brown will get more reps in this game than DJ Scott, but DJ Scott, you always have to be ready for a dual-threat guy. But there's some other guys to watch out for here, Dr. Smith.
Sure, they have a linebacker in Diamante Pounds and a defensive back in DeAndre Bites.
That's right.
And just overall, they seem to play really good team ball. And what I'm looking for, I suspect by having a new head coach, that the remaining players, they bought into the system and that they're going to play whatever system their new coach wants them to play. And they're going to play hard. That's what I've noticed about all Panhandle State teams. Regardless of whether they're outmanned, outgunned, they play hard.
Right. Now, the one key stat of this team is third down conversions, 24.2%. My thing is keep that thing at that point or lower, and Langston's going to be sitting in a good position right here. In terms of total offense, they're a pretty balanced team. They've thrown for 231 yards passing, 231 yards rushing, but the defense is taking a beat. And for those who are not familiar, last week they took on Division I powerhouse Sam Houston State, and they got ran off the field 77-0. So, I mean, that's skewing the numbers a little bit. So that's why we keep telling you early in the season, especially at the NAIA level, you can't just grow to the stat sheet and just look at it, because you got to look at what the team and who they were playing against to try and get a gauge. This one will give us a more accurate ability to see where Langston's sitting at, and it'll also give us a more accurate see how we're going to be looking for conference, because this is when the rubber meets the road.
But bar none. I mean, this should matter to our players regardless of what's happened last week or the week before. I think we need to get out to a fast start. Build some confidence, as you said. Control the ball. They can't score if they don't have the ball. If we take that away and we keep them off the field, even on paper, there's no reason that Langston should not dominate this game. But the question is, which Langston team is going to show up?
Now, there's one statistic I think we would like to see Langston do tonight. The opponents are converting on third downs against Panhandle at a high rate. What's that number sitting at?
44%.
44%. So that means almost 50% of the time the teams are converting. So you want to keep that trend and things moving in that direction.
Yeah, and it's really a good point. And for Langston, we want to avoid long third downs. You know, you want to get in third down and short if you get to third down, but capitalize by not turning over the ball, not having to punt. We want to keep Pogai off the field punting and literally driving the ball down the field.
Now, down on the field right now, it's getting serious. Langston won the toss but has elected to defer, which means Panhandle received the ball coming from the west end zone. So we're going to take a timeout, come back with today's player to watch. Don't go anywhere. Langston Lion football is just around the corner. Counseling Solutions and Interventions is here helping you through it all. Our staff of trained and quality professionals are here to help you. Call for an appointment today, 405-601-6710. The player to watch, the crossover, the game. It's here. We'll be back on the other side. This is Langston Lion football on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend.
Here, Langston's about to take the field in just a moment, so we're going to go ahead real quick. First, we're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Langston Lion Football.
You're listening to Langston Lions football exclusively on Perry Broadcasting's radio stations. KRMP, K221FQ, Oklahoma City, KGTO, Tulsa, and KKRX, Lawton.
And the Lions have taken the field to the fireworks display, letting those things go. It's time real quick to go ahead and hear from today's player to watch, and his name is senior wide receiver Dalen Person. Today's player to watch is senior wide receiver Dalen Person. Dalen, you guys have not gotten the offense clicking the way you guys wanted to. What is your expectations as you guys get ready for your home opener?
For today, we're just trying to execute and do all our tasks that we've been practicing all week and open up this playbook and show people that this offense really got some serious that we just hide.
How have you been keeping yourself motivated? I mean, you look back there in the quarterback position. It's been in a lot of flux. Not trying to be negative, but you got to adjust your game to each person that's back there. So how have you been keeping yourself up?
I mean, I feel in practice I work with all three quarterbacks. Well, all of us we work with all three quarterbacks. So it's just a focus thing. I feel we got to just focus and just believe in each other and talk to them and tell them what we see and just believe in them. And I feel like we're gonna make plays happen.
How do you keep the rest of your receiving core and the rest of you guys from getting down on yourselves? You guys were an explosive offense. You guys can still be an explosive offense. Ain't nobody saying that you're not. But what's it going to take to get there and keep everybody on the same page?
Focus, hard work, and just believe. Believe that we going to make plays when we got the opportunity. Believe the quarterback going to get us the ball, and just believe in what coach going to call in. We're going to make it happen. Make a play as it comes to you.
Talk to me real quick here. There's an opportunity today to get some really big plays against this defense. So I know you get real excited. You made one of the big plays in the game against Arkansas Pine Bluff. So when you get that wide look in your eye, what is it you see and what is it you want to do to your opponent when you got that guy lined up against you and you know it's one-on-one and it's you and him?
When I feel it's one-on-one, I just know I'm going to win every rep. You got to win every rep. You can't go in to the play knowing somebody in front of you and you're not going to win. I just feel you got to know you're going to win. You got to dominate that man and just show him who the best.
Finish this sentence for me. Langston will dominate today if what?
We focus and we play hard.
Dr. Smith, Dalen Person, very, very direct in his comments. You can say he may have a soft voice, but he spoke loudly by the things he did say. First of all, he hasn't lost any faith in the quarterbacks, hasn't lost faith in the system, and more importantly, he says is we just got to focus and win every rep. He's breaking it down not by every series, by every rep.
Yeah, and I think it just goes to show you what the coaching staff is talking with the players about over and over and over. And Dalen, it's really interesting. You know, I mentioned in our first game last year, he caught 14 passes and 7 of them were for touchdowns. He just has a knack for getting open, and when the ball comes his way, he catches it. And I think they're going to try to get him open and get the ball to him more often, which is really, really interesting. Whether or not we're going to throw the ball down the field, but execution is what he talked about, and that's the bottom line of what we have to do.
And for me, what I want to go ahead and say more than anything else is Dalen Person is our player to watch, but it could easily be today Barry Handy. It could also easily be Isaiah Shaputis. It could be any of those guys when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it just depends on who's going to show up. We get Andrade back today as a receiver. We'll see if he's at full strength, at 100% and good to go. There's no excuse. I mean, we have all of our weapons with the exception of James Cox today. It's about execution over and over and completely.
I agree with you on everything that you're saying. Also, I'm going to throw in there one other key point that you have to look at it is that Tim Whitfield could easily also be the star of this game as well. It depends. I'm eager to see what the game plan's going to be. Langston can run the ball. They have not done it consistently yet, but they are capable of doing it. And to me, there's so many options in which this game can go out. I'm eager to see what this nice home crowd that has come out to Anderson Stadium today to see what we're going to get when it's all said and done.
Likewise, you know, the running game is really interesting because the more that the running game can get going, it'll open up the passing lanes, and we'll really we'll get to see the explosion of the offense, which we're capable. It's just a question of it showing up, and we just haven't gotten the running game or the passing game going. No consistency whatsoever.
Right. Today's officials today is the back judge is Trey Peters, field judge Corey Dixon, head linesman is Rodney Russell, head umpire is Mike Perry, the center judge is Sal Garcia, line judge Joe Morales, side judge Michael Houston, and the man in charge of all the action today is referee Grady Dale. For this conference owner in the Sooner Athletic Conference, defending conference champion Langston sets out to defend its title right here, right now, today. You know what it's time for, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to cross over. It's time for Langston football.
It's Saturday. And it's time for some Langston Lion football.
I'm ready for Langston football.
I'm definitely ready for Langston football. Let's get turned up.
I'm ready for Langston Lion football.
It's game time. Throw your L's up. It's Langston Lion football right here, right now on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
The Lions are 1-1, looking to go 2-1 and 1-0 in conference play. The number 19 Langston Lions are set to go here at Anderson Stadium right here on the Perry Radio Sports Network. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's have some fun. Langston's going to kick this ball away coming out of the east end zone this afternoon, and they're going to kick it to Panhandle. Back to receive the ball deep for Panhandle. It looks back there. Can't tell the numbers right here, but Panhandle's wearing white jerseys with red socks, white shoes, white helmets, and Langston's wearing their white pants, orange jersey, blue numbers, and blue helmets with a nice LU on the side. Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially on our way as the ball is kicked off and is going to be received inside the 10-yard line at the 11th by Jake Martinez, and Martinez is going to be brought down a little bit after the 20-yard line. Let's mark him down at the 24-yard line. Mo and the Doc on the call. 14:58 set to go on the clock, and we're ready to start Langston's defense, see what kind of defense they're going to bring to the table tonight. Now, Poe Guy is going to get the start tonight, probably more so in the middle along with Eugene Fuller. James Cox, again, is out for tonight's contest. So here we go. And coming out right now for Panhandle State in the starting quarterback will be Tony Brown is the starting quarterback. They're coming out with 4 receivers in the spread, single back formation. Langston showing press coverage and a 4-2-5 defense. They go right up the middle and finding a little bit of space to operate is number 20, it looks like 23, Danny Valverde on the carry there. Or is that 28? Looks like that's 28, on the call there. That happens to be Jonah Martinez on that. 4 receivers going to work again. Shotgun formation. And Brown's going to put it up. No, he's going to throw it down to the ground. And that's not Tony Brown. That is DJ Scott in the game. So
and he was simply trying to throw off to the running back to take what the defense have given him. A missed throw, and we have 2nd and long, and we'll take it. Third and long should be.
3rd and long now after the ball skipped off the carpet there for the senior DJ Scott, 6'2", 210 pounds. Once again, spread formation, 4 receivers, 1 back in the backfield, and he's going to try and pull it down and run it, and he gets a little bit of daylight and takes the ball beyond the 40-yard line and gets out to the 41, make that a first down for Panhandle, and they're hurrying to the line of scrimmage here. Nice gap as they crashed down on Justin Wade and blocked him down, and he was able to run in that gap. Here we go. Ball snapped, and Scott's going to put it up, throws it around, wide receiver screen, and the pass is complete to number 85 across the middle. That is Seth Barbino, the junior wide receiver from Amarillo, Texas, on the reception.
And I really think the Lions have to be careful. The one thing this quarterback can do is he can sprint a little bit, and we just have to watch the quarterback draws.
4 receivers once again. Langston steps up, trying to get in the pocket, going to throw it to the outside, has a receiver wide open. He eludes 2 Langston defenders and is going to get a first down. Nice pass play to the outside. Pass was complete to Jashon Brown, the sophomore wide receiver from Jackson, Mississippi. Made 2 Lions miss, and the Lions do not look sharp right now in the tackling game.
And that seemed to be a broken coverage. The man was all by himself. Easy pitch and catch.
4 receivers once again, and the Panhandle goes to work again. And this time, the pass is complete for a short gain of maybe 3 on the play, as the ball is now spotted at the Langston 44, and Panhandle is doing their patented get that hurry up offense going. That's what they like to do.
They're simply taking what the defense is giving them, short plays consistently.
And before things get started, we got our first flag of the game. And let's see what Grady Dale's call is. And it's going to be false start against. All right, false start's going to be the call. Going to move the ball back closer to midfield. They're going to spot it, how about at the 49-yard line.
That's very helpful to the Langston defense. It creates 2nd and long, which is very, very, very good.
All right, here we go. Set to go again. Ball set for action. 4 receivers split. Spread formation. And the ball is snapped. Dropping back in the pocket. Going to put it up. And he gets leveled as he throws the ball away. Justin Wade came out and laid down DJ Scott, but that pass was complete to the outside once again to number 85, Seth Barbino. He gets a gain of 3 down to the 47, I think. Make that the 46, so 3rd down and 9. What does the Langston defense want to do here?
Hope we key on the running back. We know what happened on the last 3rd down and long.
All right, 4 receivers again, 2 split on either side. Scott in shotgun, drops back. Pressure being applied up the middle. He's going to throw it. And again, it was a bad throw as that thing kind of sputtered down to the ground. It was intended for number 3, Tony Brown. So again, both quarterbacks on the field at the same time for Panhandle. But nonetheless, Langston gets what they wanted, Doc, and they are coming off the field.
Absolutely. Patro Howard had extensive pressure on the quarterback and made him have an errant throw, and will 4th and long, and they're now punting, which is good for the Langston Lions.
All right, standing at the 15-yard line, first standing at the, looks like the 24 is Isaiah Shaputis, and back there to receive the ball for Langston is number 21. High end over end kick. The ball is going to be fielded by Rashid Johnson. Actually, it's not. It's going to bounce out inside the 15 at the 13-yard line, so 1st and 10. So getting his chance to make his first start for the Langston Lion is the freshman, 5'10" product. It is Raekwon Washington. And for those who don't know, Raekwon comes from Houston, Texas. He's making his first start here at Anderson Stadium.
And he is a lefty, and he can zing it.
In the backfield with him starting off this game is Tim Whitfield. The receivers out there looks like it is Barry Handy, Isaiah Shaputis. It is Glenn Irons out there. And it looks like also out there is number 85, Jeremy Neal. And there's an equipment issue with Tim Whitfield, so they make him substitute out. So now into the game comes in is Toma King for the first series. So here we go.
Let's see if the Langston Lions could start fast.
And before things get started, there's going to be offside penalty. They let the play continue and give the ball to Toma King, but there is a penalty. And that should be 1st and 5 for Langston. Grady Dale's call, you can barely hear him, but he's saying offsides. That was very clear to me.
Really helpful to the Langston Lions to get off to this kind of start. 1st and 5. Let's see what Coach Mason dials up for the Langston offense.
All right, here we go. 3 receivers right now. And we have a pistol formation right now. H-back right in front of Washington. Ball snapped, and Washington hands it off to Toma King. Toma King tries to step through, and a nice gap was being filled by Panhandle. Nice open field tackle. Looks like it was done by number 44 on that play, and that was Jasper Smiley. Jasper Smiley making the play, loses his helmet, has got to come out for a play.
Really nice hit by 44 of Panhandle State for a loss on the play. Maybe no gain, maybe loss of 1 yard. So 2nd and 5 or 6 for Langston University.
11:21 to go, no score. Right now, Langston's got 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and Washington's going to flick it out to the outside. That ball was deflected. Nice open field play by London Chambers, who knocked it down. He was trying to swing it out to Tim Whitfield, and that's that left-handed thing, because he had a sharper angle because he's left-handed.
That's right.
So that was kind of, and he had to turn his body all the way around to make the throw on the, I guess, just try to flick it out there on the left-hand side of the field. And it looks like the officials are preventing Langston from making a substitution.
And we're trying to bring in Shaputis. Marcus Colston is back on the field.
So Marcus Colston, Glenn Irons, Barry Handy, and it looks like Neal are all the receivers right now. Empty set for Washington.
Looks like a blitz here.
9 seconds to snap it, and Roquan's going to put it up, and the pass is complete as he zips it in there. Nice pass. Nice catch. Move those chains. That's to the tight end, Cameron Mims. Move those chains, getting Langston a first down at the 27-yard line. Daryl Mason dialed up a nice slant route on that play, and it moved those chains for a first down for Langston. Now 4 receivers.
Very nice call by Coach Mason. Langston did a great job picking up the blitz. Perfect call, first down, Lions.
All right, Tim Whitfield now checks in the backfield along with, of course, Washington in shotgun formation, and he going to do a little RPO action, and Tim Whitfield has it. He's at the 40. He's at the 45. He's still got one man to beat, and he falls down at the 50-yard line. What a nice play as he says, feed me, feed me. Tim Whitfield takes it up. Move those chains. First down, Langston at the 50-yard line. Nice burst on that play by Tim Whitfield.
Yeah, Tim has been watching the little Mark Ingram there with the Ravens talking about feed me, and they are, or Ezekiel or Elliott, they both say feed me.
Yeah, they do, and Tim Whitfield is hungry, and you need to feed a guy when you got a beast like that. And Tim Whitfield. All right, first down, ball just shy of midfield. 3 receivers now, and they're going to do a wide receiver sweep. Glenn Irons turns the corner and steps out of bounds, but there is another flag on the play. Flag on the play. It's thrown from the back, Judge. It's going to be interesting to see what the call is going to be, but Glenn Irons will have a gain of 6 or 7 yards if it is. But we'll see what Grady Dale's call is. Okay, they're calling illegal block against Dalen Person on the outside. So that's going to mark off about. Okay. There's a little confusion at the middle of the field, so they're trying to get confirmation of where the original spot of the ball was. And so they're going to move the ball down. Boy, that's for a legal block. That's almost 15 yards.
Wow.
That didn't seem quite right. But the ball is now spotted at the 42-yard line. So now Langston staring down a first down and about 17 or 18 yards to go. Empty set, 5 receivers right now for LU.
Yeah, that was a little odd on the penalty there.
The ball is snapped, and Washington's going to put it up, and he's still standing up, and all the way around the corner. There was a lot of things going on. Could have been a face mask, but there is another penalty on the play. Now, the interesting about this here is it was a free play for Washington. He knew it, and let me tell you, I'm going to have to give me a Michael Jackson effect because he went and he went left and right on that play, moving with the fast feet. It was kind of amazing. You could say James Brown-esque. I mean, he has got some sweet feet.
Oh, and that's what we've been missing is some elusiveness from our quarterback. I like what I saw. We took the penalty, still first down.
All right, so now it's first down and still 12 instead of 17 for Langston. Langston makes a transition in their offense. Now we've got 3 receivers, 2 to the near side. Washington is conferring the call. He's got 12 seconds to snap the ball. Tim Whitfield in the backfield, ball snapped, and Washington's going to throw it. The ball is tipped and nearly intercepted. Well read by that time by Charoy Joseph, who had a beat on the ball, much to the chagrin of the Panhandle fans because he was right there for it. It's like he knew what the call was.
Man, and he tipped it really nice, and that was almost caught by number 8 of Panhandle and taken back to the house, so we're very, very fortunate. He had Whitfield open in the flats, but he went to the other side, so we missed something there.
All right, so Tim Whitfield, there's too many players on the field, so this is the type of mistake that Langston cannot afford. It's going to be second down and 17, so we've got some confusion on the package here. And that's going to happen when you've got a new quarterback starting and you don't know who the personnel is going to be, but there seems to be some confusion on when we're making the call. And we've got to clean that up.
No doubt about it. Same simple mistakes that we're making that's pushing us back and stopping drives from moving down the field for a score.
But you don't get any rhythm, and that's the part to me that really just is disturbing. Empty set right now for Washington, the freshman. 9:09 to go. Ball snapped. He drops back in the pocket. He's going to put it up. First receiver's gone, but he's got a receiver wide open, and he was trying to hit Dalen Person. Just too much mustard on it. Just a little bit too much. But that was a beautiful pass, and he can really throw that thing.
And you can see it, and Dalen was right there. That was within 2 or 3 yards of being a touchdown for Dalen and Raquan. Nothing wrong with that play. I thought it was good. We just didn't connect on it. Good call.
Now, the interesting thing about these penalties right now is Langston's been racking up quite a few of them right now on this drive. I mean, on this opening possession, it's been kind of rough to deal with to this point.
And I'll tell you, Coach Q spoke to the team about that this week. We only had 7 penalties last week, and his goal was to have less.
All right, Washington feeling the pressure, but he's going to let it go again. And this time, he and Glenn Irons were not on the same page, so it's going to be 4th down. He went down the seam. Glenn Irons did a sluggo, a slant and go, and it was not timed. And those are things that happen in time to time. But overall for Langston, a successful possession. You were able to get the cobwebs out. But we've got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. Things on this drive went array when we started racking up the penalties.
Yep. You hit the nail on the head. It'll cost you every time. And as a result, Langston University is punting the ball.
So it looks like Pregame back there to try and pump the ball. The ball skips off the pocket. And the kicker is, Pregame is hit. But since the ball was deflected, there will be no flag on that one. And the ball is going to be downed at the 34-yard line. So that was kind of rough overall.
Yeah, it really was. And at the end of the play, Langston player tried to sneak a little scoop in there and make it go another 5 yards, but the referee caught it. So it'll be 1st down and 10, looks like on the 34-yard line for Panhandle State.
Right, 8:58 to go. We have no score right now. And, you know, it's one of those type of things, if you're Langston, you want to see a little bit more. You want to see a little bit more from the defense on this series. And the officials are still talking, so we got a hold up here. Nothing like a meeting at the 27-yard line. And so here we go. 3 receivers, twins to the near side. DJ Scott is the quarterback, and they're going to hand the ball off, it looks like, to Tony Brown. And Tony Brown is going to skate ahead for a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. Antoine Small on the tackle for Langston. 8:42 to go. 3 receivers once again, twins to the near side. Ball is snapped, and they're going to hand the ball to Tony Brown instantaneously again. Going to lose a yard. Good pursuit by the Langston defense. Craig Evans clogged that initial hold and made him dance left and right, and he was not able to find any daylight.
And Justin Wade was able to get the tackle virtually for no gain. Very nice defense.
3rd down and 9. So here we go. 4 receivers.
Big down for the Langston defense.
Scott drops back, is going to put it up. Pressure being applied. He's looking for daylight, and he's going to get hit and be stopped short of the 1st down. Nice open field tackle by number 26 for Langston, Devin DeRusso. Nice job by DeRusso, an open field tackle coming up from the defensive back spot. So 4th down and 2, and the Langston defense did its job.
Better pay close attention here, but I like the defense as well.
Early on in this game, Doc, it's quite evident that we're playing the field position game.
That's exactly right.
So if you're Langston, you're going in the right direction right now.
No doubt about it. And let's play close attention here. This is one of our newcomers that's set back to receive the punt, and I hear that he can take it to the house if he has any daylight.
Kick is away, and it's going to be fielded at the 25-yard line, and looking for some spot.
And here we go.
Johnson looking to the outside. He's at the 30. He's at the 35 before he's finally forced out of bounds. And let's see if they're going to throw a flag. No flags on the play.
Sure looked like he pushed him while he was out of bounds to me, but we'll take it. Nice gain. Ball almost to the 40-yard line.
Ball at the 38, so Langston's next possession will start from that spot. 7:06 to go. Glad that you're listening. And coming back out is the freshman for his 2nd series of the night.
Have to get to a fast start here with no penalties and just move the ball down the field. Establish the offense.
That's what you want if you're Langston. You want to go ahead and get that thing going. So right now, here we go. Pistol formation. 3 receivers right now. Ball snapped, and Washington's going to hand it off to Tim Whitfield. Whitfield runs into the back of his own tackle on that play. He got there too quick. Yes. So it's going to be 2nd down and 9.
Some positive yardage. Could have had more. We still don't seem to be in sync right now.
No, not yet. Not yet. Now, we got to get the right amount of players on the field right now because, again, a lot of personnel switches will cause problems for these teams. And they keep running people on and off the sideline. They cannot do that.
Once again, the same old problem. We have to get it figured out. And this is in the 1st quarter, which is not good.
Again, it's too much movement, too much change in the personnel, and it's causing you to start your drive. And that's all the pressure you don't want on your freshman quarterback. You don't want that. 2nd down and 15 now. So Langston just has to understand what they're going to do. They got to have the personnel grouping ready because Langston does not huddle. They don't huddle. They make the calls at the line of scrimmage, so your next group of guys have got to get ready to get out there. And here we go. Pistol formation, 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Oh, excuse me, 1 tight end, 2 backs in the backfield. And giving it to Tim Whitfield, who is not able to get around in a nice open field tackle by number 5, DeAndre L. Fights that we talked about in pregame. Coming up from the safety spot, coming up and making the tackle on Tim Whitfield. So now 3rd down and basically 14.
And right now they're not respecting the pass. They're playing us for the run, and they're stopping the run. Something we're going to have to pass in order to open up the running game rather than vice versa.
All right, so now Langston's sitting here looking at a 3rd down and 14 to go. 5:53 to go in the first quarter. 3 receivers right now.
Watch out for Barry Handy, the speedster. That's
ball snapped, and Washington's got a receiver open, and he's going to overthrow him. Pass was intended for number 85 for Langston. That is Jeremy Neal. Yes. So 4th down, and again, trying to hit that deep pass. It's almost there, but he's got to get some more reps with the guys to get that timing down.
That's exactly right. I see what Coach Mason is trying to do. He is trying to get it down the field vertically to open up the running game, I believe. But right now we're hair off on the touch. And you're right. That comes from a freshman quarterback that has not started before, and they have to develop some consistency and some camaraderie.
All right. Is there a penalty here?
Look like they're ready to march.
Well, something's going on because the official stopped and looked at the press box here, and I think he's asking for them to make a change on the time. So it's 5:31 to go now. Going to see here. And Pogai kicks the ball away. Nice high. Spinning. And the ball takes a LU bounce at the 30, and it continues to bounce and roll and roll and roll, and eventually rolls out of bounds at the 18-yard line.
Very, very nice kick for
23-yard line. 23-yard line.
Like what he did there, 1st down and 10. Once again, we have to ask a lot of the defense to stop us.
Well, it's interesting to note this is the 3rd possession for Panhandle. On each possession, they keep starting back further and further and further. So now if you're the defense, let's give the offense an easy opportunity. And how do you do that? Turnovers.
That's right.
Get a turnover right now.
We haven't called Big Craig Evans his name all day just yet, so let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. Get that ball, Craig.
All right, going to throw the ball to outside of Tony. And Tony Brown goes down at the hands of Devin DeRusso again. DeRusso came up and read the halfback screen, or halfback sweep pass play, if you will, where he flares out and gets into the open field. A nice open field tackle. 2nd down and 15, and we're under 5 to go in the first. That's exactly what you want if you're Langston's defense. Continue to put the pressure on Panhandle's offense.
Can't ask for better. Looks like we're going to go with the blitz here.
4 receivers right now, and it looks like we're dialing it up. Langston holds their position, looking for some space to run, and there's nothing to do for Tony Brown. Justin Wade in on the spot. But again, Craig Evans is asking the official for some help with holding, not getting the call. He's asking about it.
And it did appear to be a hold, but I have to tell you, man, Justin Wade, where is he from? Baton Rouge, Louisiana, my hometown, from my hometown school. Justin Wade on the tackle.
3rd down and about 17 now. Ball at the 16-yard line. 4 receivers. Ball snapped, and Scott's going to put it up. Has a receiver running open. Can't get any space. He's looking for somebody, and he's going to have to unload it, and he does. That ball's deflected, and Craig Evans has it at the 20, the 10. The big man's going to go in for a touchdown.
Oh, he called him out. He called him out. Oh!
And we got a flag on the play. We got a flag on the play. Now, for those of you who listened to the game last week, Craig Evans on an RPO play ended up taking the ball right from the running back's hand and then ended up sprinting down the field for about 50 yards. He was saying I was every bit of a running back. And in this play, Scott is rolling to the sideline. He's running out of real estate, unloads. The ball's deflected, and it falls right into the breadbasket of Craig Evans.
Big Daddy Craig Evans. You know, we had 2 NFL scouts on campus this week, specifically looking at Craig as a result of his performance last week. And I told you we hadn't called his name all day. Big play by Craig Evans.
Big play by Craig Evans as it stands right now. And we're going to see what the call is. Quentin Morgan is waiting, and I'm anxiously waiting on the call too because the flag came in after. Okay,
like a chop block maybe?
No, what he's saying is a personal foul, blindside block, that old crackback block. So in other words, once the interception had taken place, Langston went on the offense, and when the ball went offensive, somebody got hit on a blindside hit. That's something that they're trying to rule out in college football. Back in the day, we'd say, hey, man, you better know where you are.
Fair game.
Fair game. But now they're saying, no, you can't get away with that. So now it's going to be 1st down and 10. But instead of Langston having it with a touchdown or inside the 5-yard line, the ball is instead going to be spotted at the 29. So 1st and down. This is what we asked for.
That's right.
We asked for a turnover, and we got it.
Defense did their job.
4 receivers, trips to the outside. Washington in shotgun formation, standing right about the 35-yard line with 10 Whitfield, and Panhandle showing blitz. And Raekwon has got the ball to the outside. He makes a man miss, and it falls down at about the 21-yard line. Gain of 8. He's been setting that up all first quarter. He's been putting it in the belly of Tim Whitfield, and this time he decides to pull it out and do something else with it.
And see, that's what's going to loosen up the defense and not key on Whitfield, and then things will open up because they have to pay attention to Raekwon running. And don't be surprised if he does that again, tucks it, but then throws the ball afterwards.
The key thing here is get a 1st down. Let's not, let's go ahead and keep this thing going.
No doubt about it.
All right, 4 receivers this time. Shotgun formation, and this time Tim Whitfield has it, and a burst right up the middle, and you're not going to stop him into the end zone. Touchdown, Langston.
Very, very nice play. And see, that's how quickly it loosens up the running game. Very good calls by Coach Mason.
And again, sticking with the running game, and Tim Whitfield needed to have it. Ball was on the 21-yard line, 21-yard burst for Langston. Now we'll see if the Connor Robles extra point is good.
Fort Smith, Arkansas's finest. Connor, true freshman.
Ball's down, kick is up, and puts 7 on the board as Langston goes ahead and scores the first in today's Battle of the Bell. We'll take a timeout and we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to as the band cues up. I'm so glad. You have a reason to be glad yourself. You're listening to Langston Lion Football, sponsored by Counseling Solutions and Interventions on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
Exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
It's like a loot machine. All around town, trying to get down.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming.
7 on the board following a Craig Evans interception. That's his 2nd turnover in back-to-back weeks. Kickoff is away, and it's going to be down inside the 10 at the 4-yard line, and bringing the ball up across the 20, finding a crease, and a big-time hit on number 14 on the return there. That was Kaizen Hudson returning it, but I didn't like the tackle there. The tackle was made, of course, by number 13 for Langston, which was Michael Colston, but he just threw a shoulder at the guy. You got to wrap the guy up. You don't want to see that continuing to happen here. 3:08 to go in the first quarter. Langston marched right down the field and scored. So it's 4 receivers now. And Scott in the backfield, still as the quarterback. He drops back, and he's going to fling it to the outside, and that catch is going to be made on the outside there. Catch was made by number 4. Looks like, like number 1, Chris Daly on the play. Daly with a nice reception. Second down. So now second down and 3. 4 receivers. Ball snapped, and he drops back in the pocket, and Scott's going to fling it out to the outside again, and that pass is incomplete. Intended for Jonah Martinez, who was drifting out, the freshman running back from El Paso, Texas. He was drifting out, but no go there. So third down and 3, 2:41 to go. Langston did good finally by capitalizing on a defensive turnover there and scoring on their last possession. So 4 receivers, 1 back in the backfield. Ball is snapped, and he drops back, and Scott's going to put it up. Pressure being applied, looking for some space to run, and he's close to a first down, but they're going to bring him down about a yard short. According to the head linesman there, going to be about a yard short. Good open field tackle for Langston right there by Patro Howard, the junior defensive lineman from Dallas, Texas. Stops him with 4th down and 1, and it looks like we're going to get our first chance to see here if Bob Majeski's going to roll the dice, and he's going to do so. Panhandle has not converted a 4th down all year, so let's see if they'll do it today. And they're going to do a little bit of run play, and this time they finally do convert just by a yard, getting the ball out to the 39-yard line. First down, Panhandle. So they finally get a 4th down conversion at the expense of Langston so far. 4 receivers now, empty, 1 back in the backfield. Scott calling for it, and the defensive line is looking for, and they dropping into this zone and short pass game. Panhandle's willing to do that as Chris Daly with another reception. Gain of about 4, maybe 5, but Langston's playing zone. They're not playing up tight. So that little space that they're allowing Panhandle to have is giving them a lot of room to operate. 4 receivers right now. Scott in shotgun. He's going to put it up again. Pressure being applied, and this time he's going to throw it, and that ball skips off the carpet. Pass is incomplete. Third down. 1:24 to go. Third down and 6. Third down and 6. Now, Langston University will hold its first fall career fair on Wednesday, September 25th. So if you're looking for a new spot for a job, you can find it at Langston. And a pass play down the field is complete as Scott with a big-time pass play down the field. Looks like it's complete to number 85, Seth Barbarino, who makes a huge pass play of about 50 yards, getting Panhandle into Langston territory. This is their deepest penetration on the defense all day long. Ball spotted at the 17-yard line. 4 receivers, ball snapped, and Scott's going to fling it on a wide receiver screen play, and Langston read that play well. Bringing him out of bounds and bringing him down is Quante Hayton, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what Grady Dale's call is. 57 seconds left to go. And I guess we're getting confirmation. Looks like the penalty is against Langston. And he's saying it's encroachment was the call against Langston. So 1st and 5 now. The ball moves inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. 4 receivers, trips to the outside. Ball snaps. Scott's going to put it up. Pressure up the middle, but he steps over the middle. And that pass play to an open receiver in the end zone, and he just dropped it. He found a nice pocket in the zone, and had the ball not skipped on the pocket on the carpet, it would have been a touchdown for the Aggies. Langston was very fortunate on that one. The linebackers are drifting into coverage, and Langston cannot be happy on what they're seeing, and Quentin Morgan is meeting his defense because there is some confusion on the backside, and he's talking to one of his defensive backs back there because they're not communicating. This was a big deal last week against Panhandle when the linebacker handed the guy off to the safety or the corner, whoever it was supposed to be in that coverage, was not there, and they kept finding empty pockets on Langston. So we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. You're listening to Langston Lion Football, sponsored by Counseling Solutions and Interventions on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, Make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote.
All right, back to live action here. 30 seconds left to go before the end of the first quarter. And as of right now, they ran one play, no yards gained on that. And here we go. Scott in shotgun formation with three receivers, one back in the backfield. The ball snapped, and Scott's going to put it up, looking for somebody in the middle. Can't get away, eludes one defender, and Eugene Fuller unloads on him at the 11-yard line after a gain of one. And that should be the final play of the first quarter, with Langston leading by the score of 7-0. We'll be right back in just a few minutes here for the start of the second quarter, but Langston leads right now 7-0.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome.
Just about, let's put it out there, 27 yards. And it looks like they're waiting for the clock to get set. As soon as the clock is set to play, we'll see what Panhandle can do as they try to put 3 points on the board. And we are now set to go. And ball snapped. It's down. Kick is up. And it is no good. No good. No good. Kick is no good. Kick went wide left. So it'll be 1st and 10 Langston. They'll have the ball at the 20-yard line. And after scoring on that last play and getting a little bit of dosage of Tim Whitfield up the middle, we'll need to see more Tim Whitfield. Now, he has a touchdown in the first quarter of the game. According to stats right now, 4 carries, 44 yards, and a touchdown. And, of course, he has a big one of 22 big runs, of one of 22 yards and one of 21 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now for the Langston Lions. Ball at their own 20 as they come from the east end zone for the first time. Excuse me, the west end zone for the first time this evening. Here we go. 3 receivers, 1 back in the backfield. 5 seconds to snap the ball. Ball snapped, and Washington's going to throw to the outside, and a little too much heat on that one. Pass was intended for Dalen Persons. 2nd down. Now, again, if you have not heard it, Raquan Washington has a cannon. I'd be interested to see how far he could actually throw this ball. Now, left-handed wise, getting adjusted, it's been we have to adjust to him. He's been left-handed his whole life, but he is able to make every throw. The question is, can he get control? 4 receivers, ball snapped. Washington's going to throw it, and it's a zinger to the outside, and that pass play is incomplete. Again, he put some heat on it, and it looks like Dalen Persons is down. Dalen Persons is down holding his ankle. And they're calling for time. And Ross, the trainer, is getting up, and he's trying to make it across the field. and he's hurting pretty bad. Quinn Morgan's out in the field as well. So Dalen Person was running a comeback route. They wanted the ball to be thrown to the outside shoulder, but he turned the other direction and might have had his footing, lost his footing. So we might get to see, making his season debut here, Michael Andrade, who has not played. He's been inactive the last 2 games. Person's able to get off under his own power, greeted by teammates as he makes it over to the sideline. He's headed right over to the tent. They're going to take a look at him. So hopefully he'll be able to return. But the pure fact he was able to walk off under his own power is the good news. All right, so now checking into the game, Isaiah Chaputis, Glenn Irons, Cameron Mims, and also out there it looks like it is Jeremy Neal are the 4 receivers out there. And in the backfield, of course, Toma King. Washington feels the pressure, steps, pulls it down and makes a good decision, decides to take off and pays for it because he decides not to step out of bounds, but he was really trying to help his team. Had a chance to get a first down, but he's not going to get there. They're going to call for time as it looks like there's an injured Aggie on the sideline as a collision right there. So it's going to set up 4th down and 1, ball at the 29-yard line. So 4th down and 1. And I don't think this is a good spot to try and go for it at this time. But the injured Aggie walking off the field right now is Charoy Joseph, the defensive senior defensive back. He tried to make a hit, or was a part of the guys that tried to make a hit on Washington, but Washington kind of shed him right off. So here we go. Now Langston's lining up like they're going to go for it, but I think they're going to be a nice kick away. And Pogai's kick is nice, end over end, and it's going to be fielded by number 85, Seth Barbarino, at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for Panhandle, which is going to be one of their better starting positions today. But Panhandle did get the ball all the way down to miss a 27-yard field goal attempt on their last possession. Score is still 7-0, 13:52 to go. Counseling Solutions and Interventions is here helping you through it all. Our staff of trained and qualified professionals are here to help you. Call for an appointment today, 405-601-6710. 4 receivers. Ball snapped, and Scott's going to throw it to the outside, and once again finding a nice soft spot in that zone. Receptions made by Jashone Brown. If you are listening to this game and you're not in the city area, you can also watch it on mybcsn.net/LU. You can watch some of the action. 4 receivers, ball is snapped, and Scott's going to put up a pressure being applied. He gets nailed, and bringing him down, bringing the wood is number 93, right up the middle, Peter Gordon. Making a big-time hit right there up the middle for Langston. He was dusted on that one. So 3rd down and 10. 4 receivers. Scott in shotgun formation, single back there. Ball is snapped. Christopher Pogai identifying the running back as he comes to the outside, and this time too much heat. Pass was intended again for number 7, Joshua Brown. 4th down. Nice job by the Langston defense. Showing a little bit of everything on that one. Nice job by Langston defense, and if you have to be proud if you're Langston, ever since the turnover, the Langston defense has gone to the next level. They're playing with a lot more aggression, a lot more passion, and the tackling has gotten sizably better. Here we go. Back to receive the ball deep. And the kick is away, and Glenn Irons is set to field it, but that ball, he's not going to get a chance as it goes out of bounds. The officials walking up the sideline. And the ball is going to be downed at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. So no doubt about that. So Langston will get another chance with it. On this next possession, I would like to see a whole lot more of Tim Whitfield in this possession if it's me. With 4 receivers, Tim Whitfield already has 44 yards in the game. I'd like to see him get some more, because the more he gets, the easier the game becomes for Washington. 4 receivers right now, 3 to the near side, trips, and Whitfield in the backfield. And they're going to give it to Whitfield, and Whitfield again with a burst right up the middle. He's at the 45, he's at the 50, he's at the 45, and he's going to be brought down inside. No, he's not. He's still fighting. Ladies and gentlemen, that man is fighting like a tank. He's driving down the middle of the field, and he finally goes down inside the 35-yard line, down at the 32. What an amazing job by Tim Whitfield, who's showing he's going to be a gamer today. Somebody move those chains. First down, Langston. I'm not trying to be Nostradamus this evening, ladies and gentlemen, but if I say if you don't get another dose of Tim Whitfield tonight, it'd be a shame. 4 receivers this time, trips to the outside, Tim Whitfield in the backfield, and they're going to give it to him again in his belly, and he hammers it ways down for a gain of 5 yards, down to the 27 or 28-yard line. Gain of 5, nice push by the offensive line on the series. I have to say he has been sharp. Nice, good blocking down the field. Langston looks like they're prepared to go ahead and put another touchdown on the board here. 27 seconds to snap the ball. If you're offensive coordinator Daryl Mason, don't change a thing. Give the ball to the workhorse, and that workhorse's name is Tim Whitfield. Let the man eat. Staring down, second down and about 6. 4 receivers. Washington in shotgun formation. Ball snapped, and they're going to hand it off to Tim Whitfield again. And this time, finally, Panhandle makes a play. Stopping him right up the middle goes number 92, Matthew Hernandez, who makes the play. Langston's going to lose 3 on the play, setting up 3rd down and 9. So in this particular situation now, 3rd down and 9, and they finally stopped Whitfield. The quarterback run game can be successful. In my opinion, you're going to go empty set this time. 5 receivers, so you got 5 of your best out there, and Dalen Person does return to the game now. So you got Colston out there, Cameron Mims, Isaiah Shaputis, who's been quiet so far. And Washington's going to go all the way into the end zone, has a receiver open. Is it caught? Is it a catch in the end zone? Are they saying it's an interception? It is a turnover it's a turnover. The pass is intercepted in the end zone. It looked like it was right in the basket of Barry Handy, but the pass is intercepted in the end zone. Great read. Great read on that play by Panhandle. He lofted that thing up there, and it looked like it might get in the hands of Barry Handy, but in a hand fight at the end of it, when it was all said and done, it's Aggie football. So looking at how things go right now, score 7-0 right now, 10:31 to go. 4 receivers, and the ball goes right up the middle. And with a nice gain on the play, looks like that is Danny Valverde Jr. with a gain of 7. And Langston's defense doesn't look set. And this time Scott's going to try and run, and that was a bad idea. He tried to turn the corner, and right there is Patro Howard, who says no. 3rd down and 2. 10:02 to go, 7-0 is our score. Panhandle hurries to the line of scrimmage with 4 receivers, 1 back in the backfield. And Langston is showing press coverage, except for down here on the outside receiver, giving him about a 7-8 yard cushion. And before things get started, do we have a flag on the play? And it is delay of game against Panhandle, which is kind of surprising. Panhandle runs a patented hurry-up offense, so that's something that you just don't see very often from them. But there seems... But that's what, if you could hear it. So 9:33 they went on the game clock, but Grady Dale, the head official tonight, head referee, is making the call. So now we're looking at a 3rd down and 7 situation. Langston has, now everybody's pressing coverage. Everybody is on their man tight. Scott is in shotgun formation right now. And Valverde is in the backfield. So they're still making an adjustment on the clock. So that's why we're not having any. 9:43 is what the official wants. And they got it, and he has it now. So here we go. 4 receivers right now. Langston showing blitz from the outside. They drop back into coverage. Craig Evans applying the pressure, and the receiver is there, but he cannot make the catch. The pass was intended for number 7, Jashone Brown. Incomplete, 4th down. But that was a heck of a pass by Scott. He threw a laser, and unfortunately for him, Jashone Brown could not stretch out enough to make the reception. Jashone Brown has made some great catches today, leaving his feet to make it, but in this case, he has not been successful. So now, going to kick this thing away, back to receive it once again for Langston. Christopher Brooks might be back there now, but no, it's not. Picking it up off the bounce is Glenn Irons, and you know he's got joystick moves. Glenn Irons turns the corner and is going to be pushed out of bounds at about midfield at the 50-yard line, but there is a flag on the play back at the 37. Glenn Irons picked that thing up off one bounce off the carpet, and he knows what to do with it. All right, they're calling a block issue, or a legal block against Barry Handy. And I don't know how you can call a penalty against Barry Handy. I don't understand it at all. Barry Handy is all of 5'9", okay? So you got the smallest guy on the field, and you say he had a penalty. I'm not really buying it, Mr. Official. But nonetheless, Barry Handy is going to be called for the penalty. He's going to put the ball back where it was going to be near midfield at somewhere near the 50-yard line, back inside the 30, back at the 27. So 1st and 10, Langston, 9:22 on the clock, and Langston needs to get this thing going. Now, Toma King is in the backfield right now, giving Tim Whitfield a much-needed blow. 4 receivers, trips to the outside, ball snapped. Washington is going to keep it himself, gets a block from the outside, but nothing doing. As a nice play, looks like Dadarian Primes makes his first tackle of the day. And a tackle for the loss. Langston loses about 3 on the play. 2nd down and 12. So we got 4 receivers now as the Langston fans here are trying to set up the wave. Right now it doesn't look like a wave. Looks like a clap. 4 receivers, trips to the near side. And Toma King with a crease right up the middle on that counter gap. He's going to get I'd say a gain of about 3 or 4. Ball will now be spotted at the 29. And here we go. It almost worked, ladies and gentlemen. The wave. I didn't think it was a new thing, but here at Langston this year, everybody's not on the same page. We're gonna need a wave official or somebody from the cheerleading staff to run down the field to get everybody to stand up at the right time. But nonetheless, back to live action. 3rd down and 8, 8:09 to go. 7-0 is the score. 4 receivers, 2 on either side. Washington in shotgun. He's going to put the ball up, and he's going to throw the ball over the middle. Has a receiver open and going out for it. He sold out for it. Glenn Irons passes incomplete. And so I don't know how many Houston Texan fans we got listening to us now, but if you're familiar with the chopped and screwed, now we got the chopped and screwed wave. It's a wave in slow motion. It's kind of like a washing machine on the delicate cycle. So here we go. Poe guy's here to go ahead and kick this ball away. But it's a nice crowd on hand at Anderson Stadium. If you're on your way out here, come on out here. It's a great night for football. Kick is away. Short kick is going to be fielded at the 50-yard line. Nice reception there by number 85, Seth Barbarino. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for for Oklahoma Panhandle State right at midfield. Now, let me ask you something, folks. Mr. and Mrs. Orange and Blue Pageant will be held on Sunday, September 22nd. So you can come out and support our freshman men and women as they compete for the crown. And that's the Mr. and Mrs. Orange and Blue Pageant. That'll be tomorrow, September 22nd. Scott's got the ball. He's going to throw it to the outside. That pass is incomplete. And it's a good thing it was, because getting ready to tattoo him would have been Rasheed Johnson. who had a bead on the receiver as he was going to be hung out to dry. Scott did a little reverse pivot on that. Look at a little QB waggle and then reverse field to the opposite side. 4 receivers right now. Scott's looking and identifying what looks like a blitzing linebacker for Langston in the 4-2-5. And Scott's going to have a little step as he did a nice job on that RPO, and he fooled Peter Gordon on that play. You always know on an RPO play, you read the defensive end. If the defensive end crashes down, you run in the space where he wasn't, and Scott knew exactly what to do. He gets them a first down at the Langston 37-yard line. 4 receivers right now. Ball snapped. Scott's going to put it up. No, it's not Scott back there. Now it's Brown. And Troy Brown running down the field, a little wild Aggie, if you will. Everybody's familiar with the Wildcat. I just made my own version of it, called it the Wild Aggie. He's going to put the ball down now inside the 25, but it's another first down. And now, again, you've got Troy Brown and you have Scott in the backfield. So you're getting a little double dose of either one. And before things get started, there is a timeout that's called on the field. Before we take that timeout, we're going to pause for 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Langston Lion Football.
You're listening to Langston Lions Football exclusively on Perry Broadcasting's radio stations. KRMP, K221FQ, Oklahoma.
Beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
It's like a loot machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Let's face it.
10th annual gala, and also some other group named Club Nouveau. I don't know who they are. I'm kidding, of course, folks. 7:12 to go. Coming up at halftime, we're going to let you hear a little bit of the audio of the Marching Pride. They have been sensational in both performances this year of course, in Wichita, Kansas earlier this year, and then in Arkansas Pine Bluff. They lit that thing up. Ball snap. Scott's going to put up a pressure. Come from the outside. The ball's tipped in the air, and it's intercepted. Is it Craig Evans again? No, that's not Craig Evans this time with the play. But that's a good play anyway. I'll take it. I'll give him some love. Mark Bledsoe, the freshman defensive lineman from St. Louis, Missouri, snatched it out of the air. Are we playing football or volleyball? Every time the ball's been deflected by a Langston defender, it ends up in one of the D lineman hands. I think I'm going to have to talk to Quentin Morgan about putting some of his defensive linemen at wide receiver. They're catching anything that comes near their way. So 1st and 10 Langston, ball spotted at their own 39-yard line. 7:06 to go is what the scoreboard says. 4 receivers, and the Marching Pride is getting a nice applause from the crowd. We got a flag on the field. And once again, little discussion. Is Langston a legal procedure? The officials are making it kind of tight for Langston to make wide receiver substitutions. So here we go. 4 receivers, trips to the near side. Washington talking with Tim Whitfield, and he's got plenty of time to do so, 17 seconds. Sure, he can ask him what he wants to have for dinner later on tonight if Langston wins. Panhandle showing blitz, and they're coming right at him, and Washington's going to let it go. Has a receiver, and he's got a step on him this time, and the catch. Did he hold on to it? He did. It's Isaiah Shaputis. Isaiah Shaputis, Mr. Big Play himself, snatches that thing out of the air and pulls it down and gets Langston a first down, sir. Move those chains at the 20-yard line of Oklahoma Panhandle State. 6:55 to go in the first half. 4 receivers once again, and Washington to Shaputis was a great combination. He's talking again to Tim Whitfield. 10 seconds to snap it. Panhandle's not showing blitz now. And Tim Whitfield again on that counter run with a nice gain of 5 or 6 yards down to the 15-yard line. Gain of 6. Okay, correct that. Ball's at the 16 is what they're saying. So gain of 5, second down and 5. So 3 receivers now. Washington, shotgun formation with Tim Whitfield standing behind him. Ball snapped, and they're going to hand it off to Washington. No, he's not. He's going to keep it himself, and Panhandle corrals him and brings him down. It's going to be a loss on the play. Setting up third down and about 7 now. 5:44 to go. Coming up at halftime, it'll be the Love's Travel Stop and Country Stores halftime report. So don't miss out on that. Going to have a live performance of the Marching Pride you'll be able to listen to during halftime today. So third down and 7. Let's see what offensive coordinator Dale Mason draws up. What he's laying out here is 5 receivers, empty set. And Panhandle showing blitz. And they're coming after him. And they do. And Roquan, did you see that joystick move into the end zone? Let him step in there. Let that lion roar. Throw those L's up. Touchdown, Langston. He's got 2 bodies on the ground, ladies and gentlemen, as the Aggies didn't know which way he was going to go. I don't know if he was playing hopscotch, double dutch, whatever you want to call it. He danced his way into the end zone. He's got some sweet feet, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if it's James Brown, Michael Jackson, all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. 5:06 to go, and Langston has put another touchdown on the board. Now see if the Robles extra point attempt is good. 5 seconds to snap it. Glenn Irons with the hold. Kick is up. And it's good. And it's good. I'm so glad. Langston is now put up 14. The band's not going to even play it because they're making their entrance to the field right now as they're getting prepared for a halftime report. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back. You're listening to Langston Lion Football, sponsored by Counseling Solutions and Interventions on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
Insurance can be time consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter.
We don't have any ice up here, do we?
Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Back to Anderson Stadium. Time for our First Security Bank scoring recap. Langston gets the ball off another batted ball. Turnover. The defensive linemen almost have more catches than the receivers for Langston. But Langston would respond with another big run by Tim Whitfield. And then finally, Roquan Washington getting to the end zone for his first touchdown. Langston now fired up and playing like the Lions squad we knew they were, as the ball is now spotted at the 22-yard line, 1st and 10 from that spot. 5 minutes to go. And if you're Langston, you want to keep the energy going. Let's see what Calvin Miller has drafted up for Langston right now on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, the Aggies come out with 4 receivers, trips to the outside. Ball snapped, and Scott's going to pull it down, but there's nowhere for him to go. He's caught in a lion sandwich between Peter Gordon and Craig Evans. That didn't feel too good. Both them guys are tipping the scale right about 300 pounds. Craig Evans is definitely over 300 pounds, and there's no doubt about Peter Gordon being right there with him. Overall, it was a 500-pound sandwich. Try chewing on that. Scott's going to put the ball up to the outside, has a receiver open over the slot, and that is off his fingertips. That was Ross Anderson on the coverage for Langston. So 3rd down and 13, 4:29 to go. The clock stops. So all that's going to do is help Langston out. 4 receivers. Ball snapped. Scott drops back in the pocket, and Craig Evans right up the middle. Scott has a little bit of space to run. Will he run? He takes off. He's going to run out of bounds. It's going to be short of the first down as he's run out of bounds at the 26. He needed to get to the 33 or 32 for a first down. So now Glenn Irons and Isaiah Chaputis are now coming on the field for the return. And Langston could put some more points on the board. But it was nice to see Langston getting the job done. You know, looking at the rushing numbers so far, Tim Whitfield has 85 yards and a touchdown. Raquan Washington has 31 yards and a touchdown. Kick is away and going to be fielded by Isaiah Chaputis, who makes the first man miss. He's at the 47-yard line before he's brought down. And if he could have shed those, he would have been off to the races, folks. Only had a couple more Aggies standing in front of him. Isaiah Chaputis is one of those type of receivers for Langston that does not go down on initial contact. So he finds a crease, he finds some space, and Chaputis can flat out go. Right now, if you're looking for numbers, Raquan Washington is 2 for 11 for 56 yards and an interception so far throwing the ball. But that big pass play he hit to Isaiah Chaputis for 46, I'll take it. 3 receivers, twins to the near side, and Washington's going to put it up. Has a receiver open on the sideline and a little bit too much juice. He was trying to hit Glenn Irons. And it's one of those things where, for Washington, the accuracy will come. He overthrows it. He's got to get his momentum and balance when he sets to make those throws. What's happening right now is he's rolling either left or right. He finds the crease, but he does not set his feet. He's relying on his arm strength to get the ball where he wants it to go. Now, every once in a while when he sets his feet, he is right on target. But when he's moving around, it can be a little difficult for him so far. 3 receivers, twins to the outside. 3 seconds to snap the ball, and Langston's not going to get this play off. And they called a timeout, so Langston's going to call their third and final timeout of the first half. 4:06 to go. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back. You're listening to Langston Lion Football, sponsored by Counseling Solutions and Interventions on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's M-Y-M-A.
Stadium. Maurice Prince on the call for you. At Langston University, our students participate in research opportunities that lead to careers in fields of business, science, education, and more. Apply today and learn more. Washington taking the ball up the field for a nice gain, setting up 3rd down and 2 as he steps out of bounds at 3:45 left to go. Washington is as potent with his legs as his arm strength is. It'll be interesting to see if he gets settled in what those numbers might look like. But right now, 4 receivers for the freshman, 3 to his outside, to his left. And he's going to put it in the belly of Tim Whitfield, which is a good thing to do. Tim Whitfield hammers down inside the 30-yard line. He's running over, folks. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5, and he's brought down finally. The ground cannot cause a fumble. And he goes down at the 6-yard line. Tim Whitfield, that's going to put him over 100. He's over the century mark in the first half as he's running like a man possessed tonight. You're not going to stop Tim Whitfield. I don't know what Jerome Bettis looked like in his heyday as the bus, but plowing space down the field, carrying defenders with him, Tim Whitfield has simply been outstanding. Toma King checks out. Tim Whitfield steps back in. 2:45, and we've got Craig Evans plowing their way into the end zone. Let that lion roar. Touchdown, as Craig Evans was the lead blocker on that play. Craig Evans lined up as a H-back. For folks who know what Craig Evans looks like, you remember the fridge from the Chicago Bears? Craig Evans lined up there, not as a running back, but as a bulldozing plow. Ball is snapped, and before things get started here, there's some guys moving, so there's going to be a penalty here. Langston looks like they were going to go for 2. But there was something wrong there, and Glenn Irons ended up causing a false start somehow, some way. So as it stands right now, Langston up 20-0 with 2:39 to go. And the Robles extra point. Glenn Irons holding it. It's now going to be a 25-yard attempt. Ball's down, kick is up. And the kick is pure. Throw those L's up. Langston's up 21-0, 2:39 to go. We'll be right back. You're listening to Langston Lion Football on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
JESTEAS.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Let's
The kickoff is made and is returned out to about the 30-yard line. Make that the 31. So 21-0 is our score. Time for a First Security Bank scoring recap. If you're looking for a bank that understands the real estate business or currently need help in real estate, you should call First Security Bank. First Security Bank is located at 1541 Northeast 23rd Street, or you can call them at 405-424-4341. And they are a member FDIC. 4 receivers now. First down. Scott is the quarterback. Ball is snapped, and Scott's going to put it up. Throws it to the outside. Has a receiver with a step on, and the pass is incomplete. They could have called pass interference. The only reason that there was no flag is the ball bounced off bounced off of what looks like to be Quante Hayden's pads. Because if not, it definitely would have been in the area of pass interference. 4 receivers now. Scott in shotgun, single back formation. 9 seconds to snap it. And Eugene Fuller is showing blitz. He drifts back into coverage, and it's going to be a quick pass, and it's going to be caught on the outside by Jashawn Brown, who's been making a living making those little catches about 5 or 6 yards all day. In fact, if I look at his numbers for the day, that's his 4th catch. He already had 19 yards, but he's been doing that all day long, it seems. 3rd down and about 6. 4 receivers, trips to the outside. Looks like they're going to try and throw a screen pass here, and they're going to flick it to the outside, and Scott's pass off balance. Tried to get it in the hands of Troy Brown. Pass incomplete, 4th down. It's been a relentless cycle for Panhandle once they got behind. They were playing extremely well, but they weren't able to do anything against Langston's defense. But once the turnovers took hold in this game, it's been all Langston ever since. Officially on the day, Tim Whitfield, 10 rushes, 129 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His biggest run, a 38-yarder. Low snap, and the kick is away. It's going to take a bounce, and Glenn Irons wants to get it, but wisely stays away from it. And it's going to roll down inside the 15-yard line. They're going to be down at the 13 with 1 minute and 42 seconds left to go. And if I'm Langston, what I do here is I give the ball to Tim Whitfield. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not the smartest person in the world. Not even an offensive coordinator. Just a guy who does radio. But from my perspective in my booth, in my comfortable booth where I'm at this afternoon, I'm going to tell you right now, running Tim Whitfield should be something that you not only think about, you do quite often. He could easily go for 200 yards today, and I would love to be able to be the one to tell you all about it. 4 receivers, trips to the near side. Tim Whitfield in the back, standing next to Washington. And Washington eludes one. Is going to put it up, and a flag comes down as he is sacked inside the 5. But there is a flag on the play, and they got to see what the call is here. See what Grady Dale has to dial up here and tell us. All right, personal foul, hands to the face against the defense. That's going to give Langston an automatic first down and get them out of the shadow of their own end zone. As the lights have come on here at Anderson Stadium, band's going to be performing under the lights. 94 seconds in before the first half. Let's see what Quentin Morgan and Daryl Mason decide to do, because the ball is now spotted at the 28. So right now empty, correction on that. 4 receivers, trips to the near side. Tim Whitfield standing to the left hip pocket of Washington. Washington's going to let it go again against the sideline, but too much heat again. But he has a Glenn Irons on that side. And again, as a left-handed quarterback making that right-handed throw, you got to really extend, you got to set your feet, and you got to rip that ball across the formation. You got to do the best job you can to try and go ahead and get that pass done. Now, throwing to his left, he seems to be calm, but he's got to achieve more balance throwing to the right. 3 receivers right now. 4 receivers, trips to the near side, and they're going to hand the ball to Tim Whitfield. With that counter run, Tim Whitfield unloads one Aggie as he gets a first down at I'd say the 39. 66 seconds to go before the end of the first half, and Langston now in full hurry up now. Tim Whitfield checks out of the game right now. And we got Toma King now takes his place with 4 receivers. Trips to the outside. Ball snapped, and they're going to give the ball to Toma King, and Toma King keeps churning his legs ahead for a nice game of 5 or 6 yards. Langston has no more timeouts, so they got to hurry now. If you're going to do something special, you got to move, got to move, got to move. 36 seconds. 35, 34. 32, 31. We're at 28 seconds now. 4 receivers. Ball's heading off, and Toma King gets it again. Toma King right up the middle. He's going to have enough for a Langston first down as the ball gets across midfield at the 49-yard line. Langston's going to have to be ready when the ball's spot for play. So let's see what Washington has drafted up here. And he spikes the ball. Smart idea. With 8.7 seconds left. So the ball is at the Aggie 49-yard line. 8 seconds doesn't give you a lot of options. So whatever you complete has to be to the outside and out of bounds, so you can get one more play. So Washington's going to throw, and if he throws it in the middle of the field, it's a wrap. And he's going to run out of bounds with 3 seconds left. Smart, because it wasn't there. That gives you a chance to run one more play with 2.4 on the clock. 3rd down. So if you're going to run the Hail Mary or show what you got, here's your chance to do it. Ball's right at midfield, third down and 11. 2.4 seconds left to go. Reminder coming up at halftime is the Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores halftime report. Give you a full rundown statistics of what we're seeing for today. Give you a breakdown on everything. All right, 7 seconds. Langston doesn't have that much time. It's going to be a delay of game as they change out personnel. It's already there, so it's going to be a delay of game against Langston. Because they were changing out personnel, they didn't know what they wanted to do. So they keep substituting players back and forth, but they've got to stop these crazy penalties. Now, 21-0, not bad. But in a game where it matters a little bit more, there's nothing you want about that. That's got to stop. Langston already had 7 penalties before that one, and now they're just going to down it. And that's going to officially take us to halftime. So we're going to take a timeout as well. We'll come back with Langston's Marching Pride Band during the Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores halftime report. That's coming up right about now. You're listening to
It's like a loot machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
It's like a loot machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Undefeated regular football seasons in 1973 and 2017. First round draft pick, Thomas Henderson. 15 track and field national champions, 72 track and field female All-Americans, 77 track and field male All-Americans, 8 track and field conference championships, 300 plus track and field all-conference selections, 1 softball All-American, 10 NAIA national tournament appearances for women's basketball, 1 Kodak All-American for women's basketball, 5 NAIA national tournament appearances for men's basketball, and we have Marcus Haynes, the world's greatest dribbler and Harlem Globetrotter. We are Lions. Hear our roar.
The Creole seasoning is a sodium-free and sugar-free blend that's versatile enough to put on anything. One of the first blends I developed more than 8 years ago, the Creole seasoning has an unmistakable aroma, a bold flavor, and a little heat for character. Every time I open one of these bottles, I hear trumpets and big band music.
In the beginning, there was nothing but darkness. Then with one beautiful bang, there was light. But with light came life. And with life came thought. And with thought came endless possibilities. Time and space are not infinite. And as such, the Creator has tasked me with a tremendous responsibility of destroying alternate universes. So I created a tournament where I allow beings from countless possibilities the chance to fight for their place in space and time. I am Alpha, and this is Versus.
When it comes to collegiate athletics associations, how do you know which is the best fit for your institution? It comes down to priorities. If your school wants to be nationally competitive at a reasonable price while driving enrollment and supporting the school's bottom line, the NAIA is the best association for you. How do NAIA schools do it? NAIA schools measure success not just by game scores, but by their financial bottom lines. Their NCAA counterparts spend an average of 60% more on athletics. For the schools at the top of the Directors' Cup rankings, the cost goes up to twice as much as an NAIA school. Regardless of their size, all schools are in competition for students. Student-athlete participation at NAIA schools has increased an average of 40% in the last 5 years. That's good for the student-athletes and provides vital support and financial stability to our member institutions.
Moving from Division III to NAIA has given our athletics department a boost in recruitment, and it's been a definite step up in competition for our student athletes.
We know the NAIA isn't the right place for every school, but for those schools wanting to offer quality, competitive athletics without the high price tag, the NAIA is the right fit. Take a closer look. You won't be disappointed.
The Black College Sports Network is proud to partner with ComputerRatings.com. That's COMPUGHTER ratings.com for the upcoming college football season. ComputerRatings.com delivers rankings, game predictions, and statistics for hundreds of professional and collegiate teams. The key feature of ComputerRatings.com is the Versus Sports Simulator, which allows users to simulate any possible matchup and view the predicted scores along with a side-by-side stats analysis. Improve your odds by signing up for a subscription. Monthly, semi-yearly, and yearly subscriptions are available. For our listeners and viewers, use the promo code BCSN19 and get 15% off of your subscription at checkout. Visit www.computerratings.com. That's COMPUGHTER ratings.com.
It's like a loop machine. Going around town, trying to get down.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
If you want to see the performance as well as feel it, you can do it right there as well. We're going to hit a break and come back on the other side. It's time to let you get the statistical rundown of what your Lions are doing to Panhandle of 21-0. We'll be back on the other side. You are listening to Langston Football, sponsored by Counseling Solutions and Interventions on the Perry Radio Sports Network. Go, Band. It was. No, I just turned it off now.
Undefeated regular football seasons in 1973 and 2017. First round draft pick, Thomas Henderson. 15 track and field national champions, 72 track and field female All-Americans, 77 track and field male All-Americans, 8 track and field conference championships, 300 plus track and field all-conference selections, 1 softball All-American, 10 NAIA national tournament appearances for women's basketball, 1 Kodak All-American for women's basketball, 5 NAIA national tournament appearances for men's basketball, and we have Marcus Haynes, the world's greatest dribbler and Harlem Globetrotter. We are Lions. Hear our roar.
The Creole seasoning is a sodium-free and sugar-free blend that's versatile enough to put on anything. One of the first blends I developed more than 8 years ago, the Creole seasoning has an unmistakable aroma, a bold flavor, and a little heat for character. Every time I open one of these bottles, I hear trumpets and big band music.
In the beginning, there was nothing but darkness. Then with one beautiful bang, there was light. But with light came life. And with life came thought. And with thought came endless possibilities. Time and space are not infinite. And as such, the Creator has tasked me with the tremendous responsibility of destroying alternate universes. So I created a tournament where I allow beings from countless possibilities the chance to fight for their place in space and time. I am Alpha, and this is Versus.
When it comes to collegiate athletics associations, how do you know which is the best fit for your institution? It comes down to priorities. If your school wants to be nationally competitive at a reasonable price while driving enrollment and supporting the school's bottom line, the NAIA is the best association for you. How do NAIA schools do it? NAIA schools measure success not just by game scores, but by their financial bottom lines. Their NCAA counterparts spend an average of 60% more on athletics. For the schools at the top of the Directors' Cup rankings, the cost goes up to twice as much as an NAIA school. Regardless of their size, all schools are in competition for students. Student-athlete participation at NAIA schools has increased an average of 40% in the
At the statistics of the first half, a lot of what we talked about, you're going to be dazzled by these numbers. Now, on the course of the season, I've been telling you that Langston has had some struggles on the offensive end, but I'll be happy to report that over the course of just this first half alone, Langston has already surpassed what they've been averaging. On the season, they've averaged about 205 yards rushing on the ground, 296 in the air. So you're talking about basically averaging over the course of the season about 250 yards per game. Right now, Langston sits at 248 yards of total offense right now. Passing the ball, Langston has not thrown a whole bunch of numbers your way, but I'm going to dazzle you with at least this. They've at least thrown 56, but what's been more impressive was the ground game. 192 yards on 23 carries. Most of that belongs to the block hammer himself, Tim Whitfield, who's rushed the ball 11 times for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging almost 12.7 yards a pop. On the receiving side of things, again, the numbers haven't been off the page writing, but I got to give some credit to the one big catch that was made by Isaiah Shaputis, about 46 yards, and that was on a rope. It was a laser from the left-handed star and Raekwon Washington making his debut. And if you are a fan of what you're watching here and listening to Langston football, let me explain something to you. For a young man to come in and still be dazzling, he still has a tremendous amount of shoes that he's got to fill. Jalen Lowe had 492 yards of offense in this very game against this same team last year. You got to get a guy a chance to get up to speed. So all is not lost. But what I've been more encouraged about has been the strong play of the Langston defense. Langston's defense has simply been outstanding when it's all said and done. They have had 2 interceptions in this contest, both of them, one by Peter Gordon and the other one by one of my favorite players, Craig Evans, one of the most decorated big men on the team. He has just been simply dynamic, and I've got to give him some love and give him some love out there for making another big play for this defense out there. Now for Oklahoma Panhandle State, they have a total of 129 yards of total net offense right now, 60 yards passing, 69 yards running. So it's balanced, not good, but it's balanced. But Langston's defense deserves all the credit in the world. They have not allowed too much wiggle room. In our scoring, Langston would score on a Tim Whitfield touchdown in the first half of 21 yards. And then in the second quarter, Langston would score 14 points. Raekwon Washington showing us his elusive moves on an 18-yard scamper for a touchdown. And then Tim Whitfield would get a handoff from, of course, Washington, and he was scurrying in from 6 yards out. That's how we got to the score that we have right now of 21-0. I'll come back, talk some more adjustments of what more Langston needs to do on the other side. But if you're a Langston Lion fan, reason to be happy, reason to celebrate. The home opener, all is not lost. I know we're 1-1, and it looked bad after getting beat by, of course, Arkansas Pine Bluff last week. But nonetheless, Langston's in an outstanding position. They just got to finish what they started. We'll talk about that more on the other half. On the other side, you're listening to Langston Football, sponsored by Counseling Solutions and Interventions on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
That's good for the student athletes and provides vital support and financial stability to our member institutions.
Moving from Division III to NEI has given our athletics department a boost in recruitment, and it's been a definite step up in competition for our student athletes.
We know the NAIA isn't the right place for every school, but for those schools wanting to offer quality, competitive athletics without the high price tag, the NAIA is the right fit. Take a closer look. You won't be disappointed.
The Black College Sports Network is proud to partner with ComputerRatings.com. That's COMPUGHTER ComputerRatings.com for the upcoming college football season. ComputerRatings.com delivers rankings, game predictions, and statistics for hundreds of professional and collegiate teams. The key feature of ComputerRatings.com is the Versus Sports Simulator, which allows users to simulate any possible matchup and view the predicted scores along with a side-by-side stats analysis. Improve your odds by signing up for a subscription. Monthly, semi-yearly, and yearly subscriptions are available. For our listeners and viewers, use the promo code BCSN19 and get 15% off of your subscription at checkout. Visit www.computerratings.com. That's COMPUGHTER ratings.com.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome.
Stadium, the board says 21-0. Now, Langston's season can be broken down in both these games as a tale of two different circumstances. What I mean by that is by halves, because the first half of the game against McPherson, they were dominant. Second half, they were holding on for dear life. They didn't show up too well against Arkansas Pine Bluff week number 2 in the first half, but played considerably better in the second. What will Langston give us tonight? And Pogai receives the kickoff from the east end zone, and the ball's going to be spotted at the 32-yard line. So 1st and 10 now for the Langston Lions. Now, in the second half of this game, the Lions need to do one thing that we talked about early on: finish and execute. The only really bad spot on Langston's resume for the first half is 8 penalties for 52 yards. Too many. 8 in a game, that might be high, but it's okay. But 8 in that situation, not very good. Langston comes out with 3 receivers right now, and they ended up doing a quarterback draw, and he fumbles the ball. And here we go. The ball's still rolling around, and now the Aggies have it. They're going to take it in for a touchdown. That is not the way to start the second half of this game. That was absolutely ridiculous. You cannot start the game like that, and you just gave the Aggies life. You know, this has been absolutely ridiculous. I just called it. I don't want to speak things into life, but they've got to learn to finish. The Aggies end up picking up the ball. Washington has it on a quarterback zone read play, runs to the near side. He wants to pitch it to the outside, but it slips, drops on the floor, and the Aggies pick it up and take it in for 6. A scoop and score by the Aggies that ends up allowing them to get back on the board, and just like that, we're officially 13 seconds into the second half of this game, and Langston score is now 21-7, and the momentum now shifts. This game that you thought was going one way, and will Langston finish? They still seem like they don't come out sharp. They've got to be better. They've simply got to be better. So now Langston's going to go back again in the second to go ahead and try and receive another kickoff and try to see if they can do something with this. You know, I was just talking about this, and sometimes, folks, you can't script it. You just can't script it. You know, I'm not here trying to influence anybody who's listening or anybody who's watching this, but I'm just being honest about what I see and trying to paint the best picture I can. And right now, that was not what you want to see happen here. The Aggies set to kick the ball off from the 35-yard line. And we're set. Here we go. Kickoff is away. It's a little deeper kick this time. Falls in the hands. It looks like Isaiah Shaputis has it. And he does. And he runs out of bounds. A little bit of contact on the sideline here. The officials are trying to help the Aggies get off. But the Aggies are now back to talking the noise. This is the battle of the bell, folks. If you thought Panhandle was going to come in here and quit, well, if you had taken the ball and drove it right down their throat, they might have. They might have been saying, hey, where's the buses at? But instead, what we got going on now is they're completely alert, and they're saying, hey, we could take the bell back with us now. The bell's safely resting in front of the fans here at Langston, but the energy in the building has come down a couple of notches. 4 receivers right now. Washington in shotgun formation. Ball snapped, and they're going to hand the ball off. It looks like to Toma King. Toma King gets a little break to the outside. He's to the 40 to the 45-yard line before he's shoved out of bounds after a gain of what would be 16 yards, just shy of midfield. Calm things down. Run the ball. Langston officially now has over 200 yards rushing in this game, or near 200 yards rushing in this game. They do. So now, 3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield. Ball snap. Glenn Irons comes around. Wide receiver sweep, and Glenn Irons looking for some space. He finds some, makes one man miss before he's finally twisted down and inside the midfield line. We'll call it the 48 or the 49. Gain of 4, second down, and about 7 yards to go. 13:45 to go in the game. So Langston is in a position, they're moving the ball. They need to go ahead and score. They need to take the energy right off Panhandle's side. You punch me, I punch you right back. 5 receivers, empty set for Washington. And Panhandle showing blitz. He's coming in free on the side, and he's going to throw the ball to Shaputis. He's got 1 man to beat. He's at the 30. He's at the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Throw those L's up. Isaiah Shaputis catches it on a slant, and he knows what to do with it. And Washington throws a touchdown. Shoot those fireworks. Light this place up. Langston's back to handling business. Nice throw by Raekwon Washington. Gets his first touchdown of the day. Langston shifts into a PAT. We'll see if the Robles extra point is any good. 27-7, 13:15 to go. Big plays. They're coming in bunches now. Kick is up. And it is good. And Langston now extends its lead back to 20. I guess I can calm down a little bit now, right?
So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's mymajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent.
But you can't hear him from where I'm here. Welcome back to Anderson Stadium. Kickoff was received inside the 1-yard line, and number 11 decides to bring it out for Panhandle. That ends up being Jake Martinez, and he wish he wouldn't have done that. We got an injured Aggie at the 12-yard line. He takes his helmet off and slams it to the ground. But in that situation, the ball carried into the end zone, and if it crosses the line in the end zone, everybody knows that you can kneel and down the ball and get it at the 25. But he went to do it, and in fact, there's 2 flags on the play. There's one down here, ends on the
offside on the kicking team, holding on the return team. Both teams offset will rekick.
All right, we got offsetting penalties. One penalty is against Langston for being offsides, and the other one was holding against the Aggies. So the Aggies are going to have to redo this thing. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for the status of this injured player, hopefully he'll be all right. It's time for a First Security Bank recap of the scoring drive. Langston would take over from their first possession, second possession of the second half, and basically drive down the field after giving up the scoop and score. And Raekwon Washington would pass the ball to Isaiah Shaputis for a big-time touchdown play. Now, it's not bigger than, it was slightly longer than the play that he had earlier today. So Isaiah Shaputis' stat line is unbelievable. I mean, these are stuff Madden dreams are made of. 2 catches, 95 yards, a touchdown, averaging 47.5 yards per play, per catch. Those are big-time numbers. Isaiah would tell you it's all what he does in the works. But 2 big plays for Isaiah Shaputis, who is instant offense. For those of you back in the old school day, everybody remember Tang? You just add water? That's Isaiah Shaputis. 13:08 to go, and the injured player is finally up. Got to walk off under his own power. He needs some assistance from the trainers. And it looks like it's a right leg injury as he gets off. Got a long ways to go. He was on the Langston sideline at about the 12-yard line. For those of you concerned about what was going down in Texas right now, if you're a Big 12 fan, this is an interesting game going on down there, folks. Texas should beat the Cowboys, but the Cowboys have won 5 straight in Austin. The question for a lot of folks out there was were they going to show up with their new freshman quarterback and not carry much of a defense down there? And I thought it was going to be an offensive shootout, but right now Oklahoma State is first and goal with a chance to take the lead with the score 14-12, 3:07 to go in the second quarter. Impressive for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. All right, Langston set to kick off here again. 13:08 to go. Taking a look at the scoreboard across the landscape of college football. And kickoff is away. Nice high kick. Once again, Martinez fields it at about the 5, and this time he wiggles his way only to about the 23 or 24-yard line. So 1st and 10, Langston remains fired up. Can that defense intensity continue? We're about to find out. On this drive, if you are Panhandle, you just want to reestablish that you can do some positive things. On the season, as we told you in pregame, if you were listening to pregame, you learned a lot. The Aggies are only averaging 11 points per game through 2 games this season. So it's been tough for them to generate some offense. So they need to find a way to get some going now. And the ball is tipped and deflected, and Quante Hayden had a chance to get on it, but he didn't get it. So 2nd down and 10. 12:57 to go. All right, we're set for action again. 4 receivers, 2 split on either side. Scott in shotgun formation. He drops back, going to put the ball up. Initial receiver is gone, and boom! Goes the dynamite, and a flag comes in. He was brought down by Patro Howard. But we're going to see what the penalty is. It's holding. That is Grady Dale's call. That penalty is declined. I'd keep the sack too. The ball now is at the 15-yard line. They got to get all the way to the 33. Second down and 18. 12:48 on the clock, and Langston's defense is starting to tee off and dominate the line of scrimmage. Ball snapped. Scott's going to put it up. Pressure being applied. He decides to take off and run, but he doesn't get too far. Nice open field tackle by the man in the middle. That's Eugene Fuller. Getting up slow is Craig Evans, but he's all right. So it's 4th down now and about 12. And so the punting team comes on. Nice job by Justin Wade, Patrol Howard, and Craig Evans, who've all had themselves a heck of a game. 11:58 to go. We're still in the third quarter. The crowd may be quiet, but 28-7 is the score. The kick is away. It's not returnable. And a little bit of shoving going on here as Langston and a penalty comes in after the play. It was really not a smart move by Michael Colston. You know, when the ball hits the ground and everybody does these punts, I said the ball was not returnable. Well, it's bouncing around, and as the team receiving the ball, when it hits the ground, just get away from it. Just be smart and get away from it. But in this particular case, Michael Colston decides to show you that he can dance all over the ball, dancing and taking a chance. There's nothing you do. And so instantly what happens here is they get into a shoving match, and they're going to end up calling a penalty. I mean, I'm going to sit there and call it. It's a dumb foul. Now they're going to blow. They're going to pick up the flag. And lucky for Michael Colston, that's exactly what happens. But it was ridiculous. You don't need to do any of that. You're going to get the ball in favorable position. Just get away from it. The ball's is at your own 45-yard line. You can do whatever you want with it. So you got to be smart. Sometimes football can be real simplistic if you play with your head. You can't just be running around and acting immature. You got to be smart about these things. 4 receivers, I don't care how good of a player you are. 4 receivers right now. Ball snap. Washington is going to put it up. Has a receiver open deep. He's going to let the thing fly. He's throwing over the top, and there could be a flag there for contact, but he's going to keep the whistle in his pocket, but the crowd doesn't like it. Cameron Mims was the receiver. He had a step on him, and let me tell you, Washington has a cannon. He can zip line that ball. If it ever gets to a point that he's accurate, even if he's 20 to 25% more accurate, look out. So I'm going to say about this. He's just a freshman. 4 receivers, trips to the outside. 2nd down and 10. Washington eludes 1 defender and is going to get brought down. He pays the price by a big-time hit. A gain of maybe 2 as he felt the pressure, stepped up and escaped. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know if it's illegal to have eyes in the back of your head, but this kid has it. We always talk about it factor, about players that can sense the moment. I get that from this freshman. He felt the pressure, and you're not going to just hit him straight up. He's able to be Houdini in many aspects. It was one of those things that made Jalen Lowe so special. But this kid here, I keep saying he's got Michael Jackson feet, and I'm just going to stay with that. Ball snapped. He's going to put it up again. Washington shooting the ball to the outside. He's going to overthrow Barry Handy. Handy had a chance to hit him, but again, the throw was over his head. He wasn't able to make the reception, so 4th down. So if you're Langston, you pin the guys back. You continue to eat this clock. But I didn't like the play calls on this last drive. We went through another set of plays where we're showing off Raekwon Washington's arm. And that's okay to do, but we've got Tim Whitfield and Toma King. Let's run this ball and get out of this game. The ball's going to take a Langston bounce and it's going to be marked down inside the 1-yard line. They're going to down it. That was unbelievable. But the back judge says it's touchback. He says the ball crossed the plane. Now he's being overruled. Or what are we doing here? The officials are saying the ball's at the 20-yard line. Okay, now everybody's on the same page. But I was like everybody else. I thought that ball was down inside the 1-yard line. But the back judge says no. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Aggies. Ball spotted at the 20-yard line. We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Langston Lion Football.
You're listening to Langston Lions Football exclusively on Perry Broadcasting's radio stations. KRMP, K221FQ, Oklahoma City, KGTO, Tulsa, and KKRX, Lawton.
Wow. Peter Gorton comes through the line and sacks the quarterback, drops him for a loss of 1. 2nd down and 11 from the 19-yard line. Ball snapped. Going to put the ball up to the outside, and Scott can't escape it. Down he goes. What a play by Justin Wade. I call him Justin Shade, because when he towers over you and comes after you, man, it's like a shady tree. 3rd down and forever for the Aggies. Forever makes it 20 yards. 21 if you're scoring at home. 3rd down, 4 receivers spread on each side. 2 on each side. Ball snapped. Scott's going to put it up. Looking to the outside. Pressure coming again. Craig Evans coming after him. And he's going to dump the ball to the inside safety net, tight end, who's going to make the reception. Reception was made by number 80, Cooper Savage. And when it's forever, you don't get a 1st down on going to your 3rd receiving option. The ball is at the 13-yard line. The punter, Lorenzo Amador, is going to be punting the ball from out of the end zone. And standing at the 42-yard line is Isaiah Chaputis. And then it takes a bounce, and it's going to be covered, and he's going to be brought down. The returner is Rashid Johnson. And Johnson's going to be brought down at about the 46-yard line. So 1st and 10. Now, I'm going to go back to what I said at halftime. At halftime, I brought this number to you guys. 192 yards rushing in the first half. Langston now sits at 202 as a team. This number needs to be about 250, 260 yards. You need to take time off the clock and shorten this thing. Run the ball. 3 receivers. Ball snapped. Washington gets the snap. He's going to hand the ball up the middle. Number 29, Kobe Pickens, getting his first carry. The sophomore running back from Ardmore, Oklahoma, checks in, gets his first carry of the night. Going to run the ball for a couple of yards. Second down at 8, 8:19 to go. Our score, 28-7. Langston firmly in control of this game, but we want to see them finish. We want to see them finish. 3 receivers, twins to the outside. Washington calls Glenn Irons in motion, and they're going to hand the ball off. Looks like to Toma King. And Toma King wiggles his way, shifts and grinds ahead for a gain of about 6-7 yards. Ball across the midfield line, down to the Aggie 47-yard line. 3rd down and 3, 7:38 to go. Let's see what Darrell Mason draws up. I say draw up a running play. Craig Evans is in the backfield again, clearing out some space, and if you stay behind Craig Evans, you can keep going. But we've got a player down. It's Toma King, who lost his helmet. He's all right. Tim Whitfield comes in the game. So now it's 4th down. And Quentin Morgan appears that he's going to be willing to go for it here. Does he keep the large package out there? And he does. The large package features big old Craig Evans and Peter Gordon blocking on the side of the line. And going ahead is Tim Whitfield, who charges head, but they're going to give him a bad spot. They're going to mark that ball at the 44-yard line, but he reached forward. And the officials say it's a first down. Move those chains. They got lucky on that one. Panhandle's coach, if I'm him, I'm furious on that one. If my name is Bob Majeski, I am jumping up on the sideline talking about where's my measurement. That was a horrible spot, but luckily Langston gets the first down out of it. 4 receivers, and Tim Whitfield gets the call again. He spins off of 2 defenders before he's brought down. Inside the 40 at the 38-yard line, gain of 7, second down and 3. Tim Whitfield has 140 yards before this drive started and 2 touchdowns. 4 receivers, trips to the outside. Washington is the quarterback. Ball snapped, and Washington's going to hand the ball off again. Looks like Tim Whitfield gets the call. And it is Tim Whitfield. Gain of 1. Maybe a half a yard on that play. Bottom line is third down and it's a third down and a long 2. 5.5 to go in the third. 28-7 is the score. 3 receivers. Pistol formation. Washington calls for it. Fakes it. Going to roll to the outside. Has a receiver open. And he's going to calm down and make the throw. And it hits Isaiah Chaputis. And he drops it. That one was not the freshman's fault. Isaiah, what cracks you up about Isaiah Chaputis is the easy play he sometimes drops. But if you tell him to jump over a cornerback, a defensive back, flip in the air and turn up around and go upside down, he'll make that catch. He's just a talented young man. But sometimes that simple play is the most important one. And Langston could be running a fake here. Craig Evans is out here in the punt formation. And it looks like Panhandle's coach sniffed it out. Running down to the side judge to call a timeout. It's the first timeout for Panhandle in the second half of this game. We'll take a timeout and we'll come back and bring you the dramatic conclusion of what Langston decides to do here. You're listening to Langston Football.
Insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
There'll be a turnover on down. First down.
All right. It's just what I called out. Craig Evans was in the lineup, and again, Panhandle called a timeout. And Langston went ahead and tried to run the fake. They were about a yard short on the play. As Poguy is going to kick the ball. Not enough. Turnover on downs, 1st and 10. 4 receivers, trips to the outside, and Scott's going to hand the ball off to Troy Brown. Troy Brown tries to turn the corner. Nothing doing there. He may have lost a yard. Second down and 11. 4:57 to go. We've had 2 touchdowns this quarter here. One by the Panhandle defense and the other one by the Langston O. 4 receivers. Trips to the near side. Ball is snapped and going to put the ball in play. And the catch is made. And a big-time hit after a gain of about 3 yards. Reception was made by Seth Barbarino. So third down and about 7, like I said. 4:22 on the clock. 28-7 is the score. 4 receivers right now. Ball snapped, dropping back in the pocket, going to put the ball up. And looking for some space to operate, and down he goes at the hands of Craig Evans as he crawls on the ground. Craig Evans lowered into Scott. But there's a flag on the play. It's holding. So they're going to decline the penalty, and they're going to kick the ball away. And what a game by Craig Evans. An interception. A near touchdown again. Craig Evans is going to get in there, and he's putting together one of those special seasons. And they want that clock running as he winds it 28-7. And Panhandle's going to kick this ball away. Coming across the formation, and they're going to kick the ball away, and it's not going to be playable. It's going to bounce into the stands. It'll be 1st and 10 for Langston, and it's going to be a great field position. Is it going to be midfield? Looks like it is. It's going to be 1st and 10 Langston from the 50-yard line. You know, Langston just needs to continue to run this ball. Run the ball, eat up this clock. That's the object. Continue to do it. Ball snapped, and they're going to hand the ball off to Tim Whitfield, which is a good thing to do. Tim Whitfield's at the 40-yard line, makes one man miss, and before he's brought down at the 39-yard line, gain of 11. Tim Whitfield has been outstanding this game. Move the chains, 1st down, Langston. Langston has been simply outstanding when they run the ball today. It's nice to see this. They needed this game. And here we go. 3 receivers. Ball snapped. Washington's going to put it in the air. He's going to throw the ball over the shoulders. Got a receiver there, and that pass at the last second is deflected away. What an unbelievable pass play. That was intended for number 82, Cameron Mims. So now 2nd down and 10. And again, he needs to put just a little bit more touch on that ball. He threw a laser to Cameron Mims into the end zone. That pass was incomplete. But that ball's coming in right at shoulder pad height. A little bit more touch, it'll be beautiful. 4 receivers, trips to the outside. Washington hands the ball to Tim Whitfield again, and Whitfield goes to work. And Tim Whitfield seems to be slow getting up on this one. As he's spun into the ground, he's going to need a breather. But another powerful gain of 7 yards. He comes off. Toma King comes in. Tim Whitfield may be seeing a few birds right now. When he was spun down to the ground, he was spun down pretty hard. 4 receivers, trips to the outside. 2:13 to go, 28-7 is the score. And right through the gap goes Toma King, blasting his way inside the 30-yard line down to the 27. Move those chains, sir. 1st down, Langston. So 1st down and 10, ball spotted at the 27. So 4 receivers now. 1 back in the backfield. It's Toma King. Washington's the quarterback. Ball snapped, and Washington is going to hand the ball off to Toma King, who doesn't like the first gap and decides to go through another one and runs to the outside, finds a crease, and straight ahead running. Nice job down to the 10, or make that the 15-yard line. Move those chains. 1st down, Langston. Lions doing an excellent job this quarter. We only had 7 points in the first. We had 14 in the second. We got 14 in the third. Might have 21. If Langston gets in this last minute, we're under a minute to go in the third. And they're going to hand the ball to Toma King again, who finds a small crease for a gain of 3 or 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. But again, if I'm Langston, continue to shorten the game. And you do that with a strong running game. It's not pretty. It's not sexy. It's not the new thing. It's not like all these new seltzer drinks that are coming out. But it will get the job done. 3 receivers right now. 22 seconds left to go. And contact is made. That blows the play dead with 15.6 seconds left to go. It's false start against Langston. He's going to move the ball back to the 17-yard line. So the penalty makes it 2nd down and 12. So 13 seconds to snap the ball. This will be the final play of the third. Let's see if they decide to snap it. And again, they're going to wave him down and let this clock run out. And that is the end of the third with the score 28-7. Fourth quarter on the other side. So don't go anywhere. We're going to bring you the dramatic conclusion to this one. 28-7 is the score. You're listening to Langston Football right here, right now on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
Undefeated regular football seasons in 1973 and 2017. First round draft pick, Thomas Henderson. 15 track and field national champions, 72 track and field female All-Americans, 77 track and field male All-Americans, 8 track and field conference championships, 300 plus track and field all-conference selections, 1 softball All-American, 10 NAIA national tournament appearances for women's basketball, 1 Kodak All-American for women's basketball.
28-7 is the score. And Langston staring down a 2nd down and 12. And there seems to be some trouble with the officials before they're saying it's ready to go. Okay, we're set for action now. 15 minutes on the clock. Let's play. 3 receivers, twins to the near side. They're going to hand the ball off right up the middle. And blasting himself ahead is Tim Whitfield, who's returned to the game. Taking it down to the 12. Sets up 3rd down and about 7. So the 5 they lost in the false start, Tim Whitfield gave him back to him. And so right now, Isaiah Shaputis checks out of the game. So now we got Glenn Ironsdale in person. And it looks like we have Michael Colston. They're going to throw a corner route and couldn't quite get there with Glenn Irons. He was trying to get there. So it's going to be 4th down now. And they're going to trot out the kicker, Robles. And Robles is going to take the ball down. Go ahead and try to kick this thing through the uprights. Officially, it looks like it's going to be a 29-yard field goal attempt. Ball snapped, it's up, and the Robles field goal is no good. They're saying it was wide right. Sometimes the view from the press box is kind of crazy. It's kind of skewed because it looked good to me. But they're saying it's no good. So, going to be turnover on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 for Panhandle. Now, Langston University recently welcomed one of its largest freshman classes in history to the institution. You could be a part of the next history-making class. Apply today at www.langston.edu. See your future at langston.edu. Now, for those of the scoreboard watching across some of the great games across the landscape of sports right now, a big surprise to me today, of course, happens to be Michigan and Wisconsin, with Wisconsin smashing the Wolverines 35-14. And if you're wondering why the crowd is cheering, I can tell you why. It's called the cheerleaders are putting on a performance for the crowd. Now down on the field, Langston's defense brings down Tony Brown for a loss of 1. Updating some of the other scores around, Oklahoma State and Texas. How about Texas only up by 1 at the end of the first half, and another one on the scoreboard out there, Georgia Notre Dame. Catch is made on near out of bounds, and let's see if the officials rule that it's out of bounds. Oh, they're saying the catch is good for Panhandle, one of the best pass plays they've had, and the coaches are asking about the reception. They're saying run the clock. Reception was made at the 48-yard line. So 12:47 to go. Got a 21-point lead right now. So getting some calls from the sidelines, what's delaying the next snap of the ball. They got 33 seconds to do so. Ball snap, Scott's going to put it up, throws it to the outside. That pass is intercepted. Down the sideline he goes all the way. They're not going to catch him in the end zone. Let that lion roar. Throw those L's up. Interception was made on the outside. Was that DeRusso with the interception? No, that is Nicholas Fowler. Now there's a penalty on the play. In fact, there's multiple flags. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Okay, so take the touchdown off the board. Take the touchdown off the board. They're saying unsportsmanlike conduct. Now the question is, at what point did it happen? Because we don't know when it happened officially. So Langston gets the ball at their own at the Aggie 25-yard line, 1st and 10. So now here we go. So 8 seconds now for Washington. Ball snapped, and they're going to hand the ball to Tim Whitfield, who finds a crease and a little bit of touchy-touchy on the sideline here. They're saying run the clock. Gain of 3 on the play for Whitfield. But this game is getting a little tusty, and you expect that. I mean, when we look at the history of this matchup with 11:50 to go in this game, since 2004, you heard the number during pregame, they're 10-2. And Tim Whitfield takes the ball down inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line. And they're saying move those chains, 1st down Langston. But Langston has been sensational in this series. I mean, their last loss in the series was back in 2015. Before that, you got to go back to 2004. So Langston, in the last 5 years, is 4-1 against this team. And then in the last 15 years, there's another penalty goes out here as Toma King dives into the end zone, but that's going to come back. It's in the area of holding. But in the last 15 years, Langston had a streak in this series in where they have won basically 8 straight matches. That is unreal in this series. And they're continuing to play like it on the field. And if you're Panhandle, it has to stick in your craw. The bell, the Battle of the Bell, and you're going to start hearing this thing ring here pretty soon. As soon as you get down under 5 minutes to go. So following the holding penalty, it puts the ball back at the 25-yard line. Langston's got to get to the 5 for a first down. Double tight end, and they're going to round the ball to Toma King, who goes to the outside. Toma King powers his way, and is still on his feet. Toma King taking a page out of the Tim Whitfield book, which is just run my guy over. Down to the 13-yard line. And we have an injured Aggie on the play. The clock has to stop as the officials blow it dead at 10:33 for an injury timeout. Now, according to this unofficial scorecard that I have here, Langston has now rushed for 272 yards in this game. Tim Whitfield has 19 carries for 182 yards, 2 touchdowns on the night. Toma King, 8 carries, 42 yards. Raekwon Washington, the quarterback, has 26 yards rushing. Kobe Pickens has 3 carries for 18 yards. And then you can just sit there and add on Glenn Irons' wide receiver sweep for 4. And that's how we get to 284. For the game, Langston is averaging 6.6 yards per carry. That is outstanding. And the man leading it with most of that is Tim Whitfield with 9.6 yards per attempt. It's incredible numbers. Just incredible. The injured player for the Aggies is able to walk off under his own power. Looks like it's sophomore linebacker DeQuan Charles who was able to walk off. So now, we're set for action now. Clock's back to running. 10:25 and less. 2 receivers, 2 backs, and the H-back goes in motion and trying to get a little bit of space, and nothing doing there. Gonna lose a yard maybe. So 3rd down and 9. But Langston's doing exactly what you want to do. Continue to kill the clock. A successful drive when you're up 28-7 is an old thing the NFL used to call the 6-minute drive or the 7-minute drive, where your goal isn't even to score. Your goal is to basically kill the clock. 9:38 to go. Langston now has 3 receivers, trips to the outside. Tim Whitfield in the backfield. Smith calls for it, fake the handoff to, and throw it across the middle into the end zone. Nothing stopping Dalen Person, touchdown Langston. Any flags? No flags? Are we sure? No flags, touchdown. Dalen Person received a laser from Washington, who now has tallied his 2nd touchdown of the night. I needed somebody to ask me to give them some lottery numbers, because I've been on point all evening. Dalen Person was my player to watch. He at least got in the end zone. I asked for more running from Tim Whitfield. I've almost got 200 yards rushing from him. And now the extra point is good by Robles. And I'm looking down at 35-7 game right now. This is the type of game Langston needed tonight. It's a real strong performance. But I want more from this team, just as you do, who are out there listening. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Langston Football, sponsored by Counseling Solutions and Interventions on the Perry Radio Sports Network.
The Creole seasoning is a sodium-free and sugar-free blend that's versatile enough to put on anything. One of the first blends I developed more than 8 years ago, the Creole seasoning has an unmistakable aroma, a bold flavor, and a little heat for character. Every time I open one of these bottles, I hear trumpets and big band music.
In the beginning, there was nothing but darkness. Then with one beautiful bang, there was light. But with light came life. And with life came thought.
All right, the crowd's still fired up. I'm so glad. 35-7 in the Robles kickoff. As he trots it down. Kickoff is away. It's going to be fielded inside the 15 at the 12. Going to the outside again is Martinez. And he runs into a wall pack of Lions. They're going to blow it dead at about the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 from that spot. 9:10 to go. Time for a scoring recap. The Lions would go on a nice drive. Drive of about 50 yards. And then score on a laser pass from Washington to Dalen Person. Four receivers now for the Aggies. And they're going to get it right up the middle, and nothing doing as the Langston defense has played well. And it looks like a lot of the starters have come out of the game. In terms of touchdowns this year, Dalen Person picked up a touchdown tonight. He's got 2 on the season. And he's the only receiver before tonight to get into the end zone. 4 receivers out there, and Craig Evans goes right up the middle, almost ate his nose tackle, or the center, and Craig Evans is still competing to get that ball. Craig Evans ran about 30 yards on that play. He still shows you that he's hungry. 8:32 to go. Craig Evans playing nose tackle, went right past the center, and almost ate DJ Scott. So now 4 receivers is what it remains to be. 35-7 is the score. Ball is snapped. They're going to call a penalty on the play, and he takes a shot down the field, and that pass is incomplete. But there's going to be offsides as Craig Evans jumped. So Craig Evans getting a little bit too excited now. But 8:28 to go on the clock. 35-7 is our score. 4 receivers, shotgun formation for Scott. He's looking over or getting a change of the call from the sideline there. 10 seconds to snap it. Langston shifts a little bit, but still in a 4-2-5. Ball snapped. He's going to put it up. And he throws the ball to the outside. And it's deflected. Pass is no good, 4th down. So Langston and their defense has done an outstanding job. And if I'm Quentin Morgan, you know, I might consider taking some of my starters out. No need to get anybody hurt. They've done their job. Craig Evans is still fired up on the sideline. And rightfully so. He's had an outstanding game. The kick is away. And they're trying to run a little bit of a fake. And is he going to get a first down on a fake punt? They're marking it a first down. The punter got the ball and was running and doing his, when the punter gets it, it's not like in the NFL when you get it, you pump the ball, you jump up, and you see the kick. I mean, it's as simple as that. But in this particular case, the punter kind of rolls to the outside a little bit and then kind of squib kicks it down the sideline, and this time he decided to keep it. It ends up giving Panhandle a first down. Ball Stepping up in the pocket, looking for some space to operate is DJ Scott. And he takes off running. And is going to get a first down for Panhandle. And now he's down. He takes off his helmet and is laying on the ground. I mean, he's very dramatic. I hope he's all right. But he's laid out across the ground there, looking like somebody ran him over, but hope he's all right. Don't want to make fun of anybody who has an injury. This is football. Can get serious out there. But the way he had his arms laid out was something to see. If you're watching on mybcsn.net/LU, you saw exactly what I'm talking about. 35-7 is the score. But that's what's going on right now. Everybody's kind of looking at him. Hopefully he's all right. Looks like it's a lower leg injury. Looks like his lower left leg. So we're going to hope the young man's all right. 7.5 minutes to go. Reminder, coming up right after this is the Black Chronicle post-game report. Now, just updating some of the scores across the landscape of what's going on. Is Auburn beat Texas A&M 28-20 earlier today. TCU lost to SMU 41-38. UCF, that normally never loses, lost to Pittsburgh today 34-35. Looking at some of the other scores across the landscape, Notre Dame and Georgia at the half. Notre Dame up 10-7 on Georgia. And in the third quarter right now, Texas has the ball. They're leading Oklahoma State just by 21-20. So we got a tough situation going on right now. Looks like we've got a big-time injury from this young man down here now. As multiple trainers are on the field right now, looking him over. So looks like we need to take a timeout here, and hopefully he'll be all right. But he's actually able to get up under his own power. DJ Scott is the quarterback for Panhandle. And he is favoring heavily his left ankle or maybe left knee. But whatever it is, it really is in some pain. So we'll see who Panhandle elects now. Decides to put in. Or it goes to running back / quarterback Troy Brown. Ball snapped, and Troy Brown is the quarterback. He's going to throw it, and the pass should be incomplete. But the umpire says, as they stopped it, and now we have another Panhandle player down. And that looks like it's a serious injury now for Chris Daly, who's laying on the carpet riveting in pain. And the trainers who just got the quarterback off are forced to get right back out there for another injury. Now he's up on his feet. He's able to walk off under his own power. In fact, he jogs off, so that's a positive sign. So second down and about 6. Ball spotted at the Langston 44-yard line. Troy Brown is the new quarterback. 3 receivers, make that 4 receivers, and Brown with a little running Aggie, and Troy Brown finding some daylight to the outside. He's finally going to get brought down at the 29-yard line. It's a first down for the Aggies. But that quarterback run play caught Langston sleeping. And Langston makes some personnel changes now because the Aggies are trying to get some things going here. And before things get started, and there's a penalty on the play. But again, it's a tough situation. You're trying to substitute players, so you got to give Langston a chance to substitute theirs as well. The officials are having a meeting right at about the 29-yard line. Now, in penalty situations tonight, we've got 17 penalties tonight, so I'm sure Tom Brady's not going to be tweeting about the penalties we have in this game. All right, they threw a flag. They're going to pick the flag up because it was a substitution that Langston was trying to honor. Matching up Panhandle personnel. 4 receivers now. Ball snapped, and they're going to hand the ball right up the middle. Spinning off a couple of blocks. Looks like running the ball was Jonah Martinez. Back to work again, 4 receivers. They fake the handoff. No, they don't. They hand it up the middle to number 23, Danny Valverde. He was the last ball carrier too. But it's going to be enough for a Panhandle first down at the 20-yard line. So 5:48 to go. 35-7 is the score. They're driving it right down the field. 4 receivers. And they're getting some personnel lined up with 5.5 to go. And a little quick pitch play. Nice job to the outside. And they're going to bring him down. That was number 1, Chris Daly, who's going to get another first down. And Aggies are moving this ball as if Langston's not even standing there. The officials stopped the clock here. Or is there a timeout called on the field right now? And it is. Timeout, Langston. And I can understand if Quentin Morgan wants that because he's tired of watching the defense just sit there and get run over as if they haven't been playing this whole game. They're taking a timeout. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Langston Lion Football, sponsored by...
Shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
And running for the corner, the Aggies are able to get into the end zone for a touchdown on a running back sweep to the outside as Valverde gets it in the end zone for them. Nice job, nice call, nice drive by the Aggies, who literally drove the ball down the field for a touchdown. 13-35 pinning the extra point, and the extra point is up, and it is good. So 35-14 is the score with 4:55 to go. If you're Langston, you want to get back out here, run the ball, kill the clock. Time to go on a 4-minute drive. Ending with points would be sweet. Ending with less than a minute left, even better. At this situation right now, you don't want anybody else getting hurt. You don't want anything crazy happening at this point. You just want to get out of here and get to the next game. Taking a look ahead for Langston right now. Games against McPherson, games against Arkansas Pine Bluff, 1-1. Then after Panhandle opening up conference play, Langston will have a bye week this upcoming week. And then they'll be back in action as they go to Batesville, Arkansas to take on Lyon College on October the 5th. And it looks like Panhandle might line up for an onside kick, and Langston looks to be ready for it. Kick is away. It's a high end-over-end kick, and it's going to be fielded right about the 36-yard line. So it looks like we might have a quarterback change for Langston right now. As Washington has his helmet off his head, and it looks like Gianni Stevenson will get a chance to run the offense a couple of snaps. Now running out there with him is Kobe Pickens in the backfield. But it looks like Langston's going with the whole new unit with 4:54 left to go in the game. Might see some Jordan Cooper here too. Going right to work is Kobe Pickens for a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8. 4:44 to go. And this is when you can change out personnel. Coming into the game is Shaputis. 4 receivers trip to the near side. Stevenson getting the call. He's got 16 seconds, plenty of time to snap the ball. The Lions are set, ready to go. He calls for it. Going to fake the handoff. No, he's not. Going to hand the ball off again to Kobe Pickens, who gets ahead for another gain of a couple of yards. 3rd down and 6. Langston needs to get to the 45 for a first down, but the clock is now officially under 4 minutes to play. That gets me very excited. I'd be even more ecstatic if it got under 3 minutes to play. 4 receivers, trips to the outside. Stevenson, the new quarterback. He started earlier this year for Langston in the game against McPherson College. Throwing across the middle, and that pass is made. Nice zip pass. Looks like number 17 on the reception for Langston there. Trayvon Billington, the 6'2" receiver from St. Louis, Missouri, making the play. Move those chains, first down. Langston swaps out personnel. 3:08, under 2 minutes to go. And Stevenson gets the call that he likes. He's set to go as Langston has 2 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield with 1 tight end. And they're going to hand the ball and turn the corner to the outside. Goes Kobe Pickens. Only bad thing he did was run out of bounds and stop the clock, but he did get inside Aggie territory, and they're saying run the clock. Ball is now at the 47. Under 2.5 to go. Langston taking their time, 16 seconds to snap the ball. 3 receivers, 1 back in the backfield. Stevenson running it. Ball snapped, and they're going to hand the ball off again. And Pickens only manages to get maybe a yard on the play. Setting up 3rd down, and you can say 3, maybe 2. But we're officially under 2 minutes to go of action. There were some good things, there were some bad things tonight, but nonetheless, it was more good than bad. 4 receivers now. 92 seconds left to go. Gianni Stevenson has to decide to run it on his own. Runs to the outside and gets tripped up. But it's enough for a first down. And we're officially sitting up about 70 seconds. And on that last play, Gianni Stevenson went one direction, the running back went another. But he knew what to do with it, made a good call, made a good play, and got a first down for Langston. 1 minute to go. 35-14. And we're going for the victory formation, and Tim Whitfield comes in. And he gets Glenn Irons to come out. And finally, the battle of the bell. And Gianni Stevenson takes a knee. And that will do it. And that's going to wrap it up. You hear that bell clanging. The battle of the bell. The bell will stay in Langston, Oklahoma. Coming up is going to be the Black Chronicle post-game report. Going to go over some stats, give you the player of the game. As the final seconds tick down, 2, 1, and 0. And the Langston Lions go merge to 2-1 on the season, 1-0 in conference play, winning by the score of 35-14.
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?